Everyone, welcome back to Isfjell. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone. It's nice to have everyone back, all two of you. And, well, before I give you a little recap of exactly where we are, roll the general introduction, please.
Far to the north, on the borders of the bitter ice, there lies a harsh and brutal land, a land with no space for the weak or the cowardly. Here, monsters dwell deep beneath the frozen peaks, and warriors venture forth on raids to bring back rare treasures from distant lands. It is a cruel land, but for them, it is home. And when a new threat rises, our heroes must take up arms and place their lives in the hands of Lady Luck, for the sake of their home, for the sake of Isfjell.
We got this sorted. Alright, so I was going to say last week. What I mean to say is last time on Isfjell, our heroes were trying to find their way into a Gith encampment on the bitter ice. After deciding that the way underground through the tombs was not the answer, and once again disturbing the slightly unhappy undead residents of the tombs, they decided to get there by flying boat, stopping off along the way to rescue 3 prisoners who were being taken to the camp, a pair of Goliath called Uriell and Glory, and a dwarf named Rurik. They flew towards the camp, were spotted by the Gith guards, who do have a rather large ballista, backed away swiftly, parked up their boat nearby, and then decided to tiptoe into the camp. However, some among them were not as stealthy as they could be, Ira and the Goliath, and they were spotted on entry by a red-cloaked Gith wielding a large sword.
If you don't keep talking, I am going to lose it.
And I'd lost my train of thought there for a moment, and a fight broke out, a very dramatic and serious fight, stop giggling, in which Ira was knocked to the ground unconscious, and your enemy stands over her, sword in hand, demanding that you give him his boats, his crystals, and everything else you've stolen from him back. But meanwhile, over on the other side of this small rocky mountain, there sits a boat. A peaceful, calm, quiet boat. And this boat's name is, for now, Kressara. As Kressara, deep at peace in the world of bigger boat, you hear off in the distance someone calling your name. You hear Aldous' voice entreating you to come back and be a barbarian and fight and help them. And slowly, bit by bit, you feel your sense of self start to return as you become no longer Kressara the boat, but 2 separate individuals, Kressara and boat. And as your vision starts to come back, and around you, you see a rather confused dwarf leaning over you. Not Torvald, this is a completely different dwarf, sort of peering at you, side to side. He reaches out and sort of gives your nose a little tap. Hey. Oh, no. Must be imagining things. She didn't. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. He sits back down, sort of a few feet away from you. Kressara, now fully returned and in control of your own body. What would you like to do?
Okay, so are we flying, sailing, boating? What are we?
The boat is seated on frozen snow. The deck is empty, aside from this one dwarf who is now sat down. Your friends are gone. No sign of them.
Actually,
yes, and Sindri.
Sindri's there.
And sat on the far end of the deck is, of course, Sindri the murder cat.
What a good kitty. Kressara.
Sat there eyeing up the dwarf with hungry eyes. Can I take it?
Good kitty. I am going to get up out of this chair. She is going to throw herself out of this chair and land on all fours.
The dwarf takes a staggering step back, just staring in horror. You're alive! You're alive! Stay back! I'm arms!
You're so pure. No, what? Where are my friends?
Oh, you mean the dwarf, Torvald and the
Yes.
blue floaty lady and Badger Man and
where are they?
The witch.
And the badger?
They went that way. To the camp thing. They sent me here to guard the boat and guard you, I think. Are you Kressara?
Yes. How do you know this?
They kept talking about someone called Kressara, and they told me they were having a whole discussion about whether someone was going to try and steal you. It was very confusing. I'm Rurik. They rescued me. I make shoes.
Why do we keep rescuing tiny things? Where are we?
Somewhere on the bitter ice, north of Isfjell. Hang on. I think they had a map somewhere in their belongings. About here. See just where the E is on bitter ice? Just about there. There. Just up there. Yeah, they headed off that way. Something about trying to get someone's sister back, and
mine sister.
Oh, it's so much makes sense now. It's really confusing. Your sister.
How long have I been unconscious?
I mean, I just kind of thought you were some kind of statue boat control thing. I don't know. At least a day?
Did you sit on the chair?
No, definitely not.
Well, we need to go and get them. I need to know what is going on.
Well, they went that way, and you can... Oh, I was going to say follow the footprints, but it don't seem to be any. So...
I'm going to slowly stand back up. I don't think I ever want to fly a ship again. I may almost have to change my braiding career after this.
You don't want me to go with you, right? I'm guarding this boat. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to leave you alone with the ship. I don't know you.
Well, I'm Rorik. I'm originally from Ulfberg, but I've spent some time living over in Isfjell for a while, down near there. I make shoes. I also do a good line in gloves if you need leather gloves.
I don't.
I don't know how to fly this thing, so I'm not going to steal it. Honestly, I don't know how boats fly.
I don't recommend that you sit in that chair.
Is that how you got turned into like a chairperson?
I think so. Yes.
No. No intention of being chairperson.
I wouldn't touch it. I would just stand right here.
Yep.
I'll look around. Sindri. Come on, you're such a good cat. Let's go and find them.
And Sindri hops down from the side of the ship and starts padding off across the snow.
Always liked that cat. And she'll jump off the edge of the ship and follow.
So Sindri leads you down across completely smooth snow. There's no sign of anyone having walked this direction. Sindri leads you down the slope of this mountain, round between rocks and between some scattering of dwarf birch trees, a few slightly scrawny looking spruce. And as you turn a corner, as you get down the mountain, you hear this great crash of thunder coming from just ahead around the corner, this great booming toll of thunder peal out, and the sounds of fight, the sounds of struggle, and then as you round the top of a rise, you hear an angry voice calling out, "I want my boat back! I want my wand back! I want my crystals back! I want everything you stole from me back!" And you can hear what sounds like Torvald's voice in response, and a countdown being started by the same voice. And as you round the top of this rise, you see below you the floor of the valley, and you can see from the rise where you stand. You can see down a slope further. You can see your scattered friends standing before this large black and red, almost metal-hulled ship. Seems to be undergoing some kind of repairs, scaffolding along the side, chunks missing from it. But what catches your eye in front of the ship is this red-cloaked figure with a large sword, holding this great sword poised, and on the ground at his feet is a familiar form in armor. And you see down there on the ground Ira. And as this figure calls out, "Drop your weapons!" And you see this bright column of moonlight that has been shining down, sort of as a spotlight almost on this figure, fade away. And sort of, I think Torvald recalled his axe from the air, right?
I did not. Torvald took his axe out of his off of the hook and dropped it into the snow.
Yeah. It's 2 months ago. So as you reach the top of this rise, down what would be at like the bottom right-hand corner of this map, Kressara and of course Sindri, we bring us all back up the current point, as you had just begun the process of surrender to the Gith captain. And Kressara, as you see this scene before you, well, what would you like to do?
What on earth has Torvald done? I leave him alone for 5 minutes-ish, and he starts a whole nother war, Cat. She's just looking at Sindri and halfway talking to him and talking to herself. Honestly, what would taking her axe or her hammer out? What would they do without me? And I'll shake my head and charge forward.
Okay, so as Kressara charges in, and because I didn't save the order from all the way back last year, I'm going to ask you all to please roll me initiative again. Now.
Okay.
So, your dice. Prepare for what could be interesting experience. And hello and happy new year to everyone in the chat. Whilst I just roll some dice. Nice to see you back.
Believe it or not, I got a nat 1. So, happy new year. I'll just die.
I'll just die. No.
Well, you are rather. Yeah.
It's actually good that you got low initiative because then you don't have to make a death save until until later in the round.
Exactly.
Okay, anyone?
That was actually the best roll you could have had.
Anyone higher than 20?
No.
Anyone higher than 15?
Yes. I got a 16.
15 for Kressara.
I'm trying to get on. It's been so long, I've forgotten where all my windows are. I have to fix them.
I've forgotten where all my notes are, that's fine. 13 for Adair.
14 for Torvald.
14 for Torvald, I've got that. 2 for Lucky Ira. 6 for Aldis. Okay. So, Kressara, you're going first. And Torvald, you will be second. The only other people who were before are not yet aware of the barbarian. Okay. Alright. So Torvald, be ready? Kressara, your turn.
Okay, Kressara is going to, well, she's incredibly grumpy, so we are definitely going to rage. And that comes with her storm aura. And we are going to reckless. I just have to find where all my stuff is because D&D Beyond has never liked me. Okay. There's that. There's that. Alright, so. Okay, I feel a little better that everybody else is trying to find stuff too, so we're good.
I realized I might need the enemies.
No,
might be a good idea.
No, you don't. No.
Their AC is all 10.
Mm-hmm.
They have about 14 HP. Dexterity's 7.
That sounds
that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their constitution is 120.
Nope, that does not sound correct.
Oh, and they've used all their spell slots, by the way. So.
Oh god, yes,
Yeah.
Of course they.
They're in desperate need. They're also exhausted.
Exhausted, they need a long rest.
They've been doing a lot of work on this ship up here. So, in the cold.
Okay, I have lost my reckless attack info.
Reckless.
It's roll 2. You just have advantage.
Yeah, you have advantage, and then they have disadvantage. They have advantage to attack you next time.
Okay, so I will roll to attack with advantage. As I drop it to the floor, that doesn't count.
Reckless rolling.
Yeah,
It was very on brand.
it's that nasty pickle Rick I drank earlier. So that's an 18. And a 2. So I'm going to take the 18 since I get to roll with advantage.
Okay. 18. Who's this against and what's it with?
The first squishy bad guy that's anywhere near Kressara.
Well, I just realised that the nearest person is standing over Ira. Are you throwing something? I presume you're throwing something at them. They are 60 feet away. Do you have a javelin, right?
I think I actually, yes, have one left.
So
Yes, I do. I have one left. I am going to throw that bad boy.
And throw it, yeah. Because you don't think you can make it all the way there and attack.
Yeah, because I can move. So she's going to move forward. If it would give me... I can move, what, 33, 30, 25?
30.
30.
Mine's 24. Mine's 25 because I have short legs.
I have little legs. So we're going to move...
Maybe if I dance there, I can get there in 30 feet.
Yes, your epic dancing will definitely do it. And I'm going to attack with my javelin, and I'm going to hurl that bad boy as hard as I can. So
It was an 18?
Yes, it was an 18.
An 18 will hit.
Yes.
So, what's the damage on that?
It is a 1d6. It's a 5 plus 2, 7. And I was raging, so I don't know if that does anything, but that's a 7 damage.
I believe raging gives you a bonus to that.
It would be, it would be plus 2 damage to your proficiency, plus 2, or no, there's a chart for Barbarian. I don't remember what it is, but it's on strength.
I forgot how to play D&D.
We did. I've been gone so long.
Plus 2. It's plus 2. You get plus 2 to damage.
Okay. So 9 damage. Let's see, and I rolled with advantage, so I was 18 to hit, and then 5, 6, 7, so 9 damage.
Alright. So, Torvald. Kressara has come running in, out of the snow, charging down, flinging javelins angrily. It's your turn, and Actaea, you'll be next.
I think you forgot about something. And Torvald's going to say, look behind you. And as that happens, the spiritual weapon, which he never dismissed, is going to swing at the head of this Gith here. And that is going to be a 23 to hit, actually.
A 23 will hit, yes.
Okay, and it's going to be a whopping 6 force damage.
Hey, 6 is not going to be sniffed at.
And then as the Gith is being distracted, as it smacks him on the head with like the hammer side, Torvald's gonna run up and put his hand on Ira. So he's gonna move up to her, put his hand on her and say, Thunderer, heal her! And cast Cure Wounds, which is a bolt of lightning is going to come down and strike Torvald, and then you're going to see the electricity go through his hand and then across Ira's body. And that's going to be 7 plus 5, so you're going to heal for 12.
Okay, Ira. You return to consciousness. Is that everything, Torvald?
Yep.
Alright. Adair, it's your turn. Aldous, you're up next. Ira, you're conscious, and you can see above you, there's still this figure with a sword standing.
So she's conscious but prone still at this point, right?
Yes, conscious but prone.
All right. Adair is going to point his hand towards Ira and say, healing spirits continue to protect her, and he is going to cast healing spirit, and a translucent form of a badger is going to appear above her.
Yay!
Gotta
Meanwhile,
love that badger.
Adair is going to move forward while combat wild shaping into a brown bear, and is going to take position right by Ira and let out a roar at the Gith.
So, badger. Bears are large, right? That's the only bear.
It is a large.
Okay. I didn't have a chance to do yours. This is just one I had saved. Okay, the bear token is yours. Got a bear.
I cannot remove the badger token, however. Oh, that's the spirit badger. Never mind. We're good.
The healing spirit badger.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Is it? Sorry, is it not spiritual enough?
Well, I was going for a little, translucent thing, but hey, it's cool. Can you set the opaqueness to about, 40%?
Approximately 43.7%, somewhere. in that
Yeah,
range.
exactly.
Sure, I can. I'm sure Roll20 has an opacity setting. That'd be really cool. That would be really useful, actually. Could run a ghost campaign. Okay, yes, sorry. Adair. Was that everything? Was there anything
That
else?
is it. That is all I can do.
Alright. Aldous, it is your turn.
Okay, so everybody's over there right now. I can't get a clear view of the guy, so I'm gonna move this way. I think right there. I'm gonna cast my firebolt at him.
Okay, firebolt. Firebolt in the face. This guy did not roll well on his initiative. This may be a bad day.
That's a 7.
This day's looking up. That does not hit.
All right.
And now it is his turn. And he, having been hit in the head with an axe, he looks up from Ira prone at his feet to see Torvald and a rather large bear bearing down on him. And he takes a step forward to the nearest non-prone target and swings this great sword round towards Torvald. And the first attack is a 13 to hit, which I don't think hits.
Oh. Torvald's gonna block it with his shield there.
Sparks fly off his sword, and he swings back around again. That is an unnatural 20.
All right, that will hit.
Okay, so he swings back around, it bounces between these, swings it back around the other way. And as the sword strikes into Torvald's Torvald. You take 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then a moment later you feel this buzzing aftershock. Like through your mind itself, not just wounding your body, but you feel your very brain is struck, and that's an additional 9 points of psychic damage.
All right, and as Torvald is hit with this sword, you see the lightning surge through his armor and go towards the sword, and they have to make a dexterity saving throw. DC 15.
DC 15. That is I don't know why I was looking at the numbers. I rolled a 2 on the dice. Like,
Yeah, probably
Yeah, no.
not.
that's a failure. I was looking it up and like,
We're level 4. That would be cruel if you had something with that much.
well, actually, this is an ancient red dragon in disguise.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be 8 lightning damage.
Okay.
So the lightning's just going to go through the sword and just electrocute this Gith.
Okay, and that is his turn, which brings us to Ira.
DM, I'd like to make a point of clarity. When I cast the translucent badger healing spirit, it was supposed to be on top of Moira. So I don't know if you put it beside for a reason, but the idea was that when her turn came, she would be in the middle of it.
Okay, I put it beside mostly so that she could see her token stuff.
That's all I wanted to
I can't
clarify.
actually make sense.
Okay, so she gets a
she's
D6
on-
healing is all I was trying to throw in.
Yes. Thank you.
And I rolled a 6. So 6 healing.
Yes. Ira, you are prone on the ground currently, but it is your turn.
Okay. I would like to stand up. I think. Yeah, I'll go ahead and stand.
Yep,
And
that's
standing
half.
takes half. Yes. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I guess I'll hit him. I don't want to though.
You don't have to. You can be
No,
friends.
I don't know. No, I think we're trying to get him into a position where he cannot hurt us anymore, so I will attack him. And I will just go ahead and strike him with my longsword. 16 to hit.
No, I'm afraid a 16 will not hit.
Cool, that's okay. So I try to hit him and I do not. And that frightens me a little bit. So I'm gonna back up. Actually, wait, no, because he might hit me. No, I'm gonna stay right where I am.
Okay. It's now the turn of these two figures up on the boat by the ballista. And the token I don't remember putting there. What's that? Oh, yeah, I know, I remember who that is. Sorry, I just saw a random token that I'd completely forgotten who they were. This figure, it comes running down off sort of the scaffolding down the steps, crunching through the snow down here. And those of you who are quite perceptive will notice they don't actually really look like they're running quite as fast as they could. Like, they're running, but they seem to be sort of pausing for a second before running a bit further. They're definitely stalling. The other figure takes a step back and starts winching round this ballista. But Kressara, it is your turn again.
Gonna smash them. 35 feet. Oh, yeah, I think I can get to that person. I am officially out of javelins. I do have a hand axe, however.
And a hammer, right?
Oh, yes, I do have a great big hammer, but I'm not gonna throw that. So, Kressara, still fuming over this whole mess, because she was just getting some beauty rest, and then she woke up, and she's out in the middle of nowhere with a random dwarf, and now everybody's fighting, so now she's mad. And I am going to charge that bad guy right there and attempt to attack raging with my maul.
Okay. Running in. with them all. Okay. I keep forgetting it's not a hammer, it's a maul.
I'm gonna use them interchangeably. That's a 16. Why did you hesitate? Don't have
Does not hit. No. Sorry, I couldn't. Got distracted.
It does hit.
No, 16 does not hit.
Hate
It didn't
him.
hit. It still doesn't hit. No. He ducks sort of to one side, quite nimbly and fast, almost as though he just slightly like mini teleported, but not quite. Just dodges out your way of your maul. Torvald, it's your turn. Adair, you're next.
All right. And just for clarity, the spiritual animal, I just have to like move into the spot at some point, right? For the spirit.
Yes, I think it's
thing.
currently still floating like in the same place as Ira.
Gotcha. All right. So Torvald's going to like kind of take a step over, like in front of Ira almost to touch the spiritual beast, and hopefully have it help.
I'm afraid it's only 2.
Ooh, I mean that's better than 0. That's
It's
better
just
than
like-
0. And then Torvald's going to hold out his hand, and you're going to see the spiritual weapon kind of come into where his hand is, and he's going to swing it around, axe head first at the Gith.
Okay.
And it's going to be dirty 20,
That's gonna hit.
and it's going to be 13 force damage.
Okay.
And then Torvald's going to call down a bolt of thunder next to the Gith's head as he kind of steps towards the bear over here. And that's going to be a
14
wisdom.
wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so that's going to fail. So it's going to be a 12. Right, 10 necrotic damage.
The one who was running slowly through the snow just stops and takes a couple of steps backwards.
That's right. Stay back if you know what's good for you.
All right, Adair, you there?
Assuming I heard the ballista being cranked around, you said it was being turned.
Yeah.
Do I have time to take a quick look and see which way it's pointing, so I have a rough idea of where it's at?
You
Can I see it from there?
that? Yeah, you can see up from where you are now. You can see that the ballista's currently sort of pointing due south.
Okay.
You've probably got about 45 degrees or so to go through before it points towards you, assuming that's the way they're pointing it.
Okay. The bear is going to dash with its movement and try to get its body wedged against the side, not in front of the bolt, but to the side of the ballista to make it more difficult to crank and turn on his
All
friends.
right. Make me an athletics check for getting up the side of this ship and onto the deck.
Okay, I have 30 climb as well, just
Oh,
FYI.
in which case you don't need to do that.
Okay.
You
So-
can use with your dash, I believe.
It was 40 going. Yeah.
Yeah, you can move. Bears move a long way. You've got the climb speed. You
Okay.
can get right up in the face of that poor unfortunate ballista user.
All right. So yeah, there's not a lot of room. I'm just going to put him there.
They stop cranking the ballista and go a very
the
very
bear's
tail
going to
shape.
take his paw and go.
Aldous, it is your turn.
So assuming I saw the bear head towards the ballista, and I see the person there in the snow, and Ira's underneath the badger still, correct?
Yes, I believe it's sort of floating in the same sort of vicinity of.
All right, I couldn't see her on the map anymore.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. No, she's hiding under the badger.
In that case, I am going to aim an eldritch blast at the person manning the ballista.
Okay. See if it hits.
15?
No, 15 does not hit. It's managed to dodge out the way of most of the blast, and the rest goes glancing off their armor. And there you hear this string of, the language you now recognize from multiple encounters to be the Gith language. The Gith in front of you sounds absolutely terrified. Like, oh, fuck. The universal word. And it just hands, take a step backwards and like crouch down, hands like. Nope. And down on the snow on the valley floor, the Gith with the great sword takes a step away from the floating badger and Ira and sizes up against Kressara, and swings his great sword round at Kressara.
Protection!
What?
Protection! Oh wait, no, I'm not there. Never mind.
That is, the first one is... Wait, hang on, was your last attack reckless?
Yes, it was. I mean, no.
That is a 28 to hit.
It hits. Barely, though.
That is 12 points of slashing damage. Which I believe is halved for you? Or am I making that up?
Let's see. Take how much of slashing? Now, I do have resistance to slashing while I'm raging, if that helps.
Is you just take 6 then, right? I've done my maths correctly then.
Yeah, just half. Yeah.
And 9 points of psychic damage.
Oh, I take all of that. I have no resistance.
Buzzing, ringing through your mind. And then he swings his sword round a second time, this time without advantage. And that is an 11.
Oh, okay, and that is it slashing damage or
Hit.
to hit? Oh no, that won't hit. That won't hit. No.
Like 11 does not hit. I know what I forgot. The two Goliath, who at this point managed to, have a sit down and a nap in the last round. Like, your Goliath friend comes charging in, and she's wielding, I think she had a sword or a hammer in the end, I can't remember.
One of them has a great sword, I believe.
Yes, she's the one with the great sword, I think. I'll check.
Mm-hmm.
You see the one who can't use crossbows, I can remember that. She comes in and goes, Ira! Are you alright? How are you feeling?
I think so.
And she takes a swing and causes not bad amount of damage, minimal amount, as she slams the greatsword down on the back of this Gith. And that brings us to Ira's turn.
Okay.
Are you still
Yes.
standing within the Badger of healing? I think you are.
Yes, because he's where I am.
You get 2 this time. Sorry, it's not as good.
Yay! That's so much to me. That is just so much, in my opinion. Okay. Cool. So, can I like pet the badger? It's like, it's not corporal, is it? It's like, okay, I'm gonna try to pet it. My hand goes through it, and I go, okay, never mind. And then I'll yeah, I'll move right here. And I will attack once again with my longsword. So I look at the Goliath and I go, I'm okay. And then she'll attack. And 8 to hit. 8 to hit it. That's what's on.
8 to hit or not hit? No.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Okay. Is that everything, Ira?
Yes.
So this Gith who have been running just starts walking backwards through the snow back towards the ship.
Back towards the bear?
Back towards the ship, sort of tucking themselves down under the side of the ship. Meanwhile, on the deck, the one near the bear just hunkers down a little further and goes... And back on the other side, Adair, the bear, you see as this black-clad mercenary, clad in the same sort of garb you've seen other raiders use, just kind of quickly heading off down the steps and across the deck to duck down behind this pile of timber, just like getting out of the way of the bear. And Kressara, we're back to your turn.
Okay. Kressara is looking a little hurt. And we're... Okay, so we're gonna try this again because she is still raging. So does he get the fire damage?
Oh yes, fire damage.
That's optional as a bonus action.
Okay.
But it would hit all of us too. So it's up to you.
It wouldn't hit Ira. Is it 10 feet or 5 feet?
10, I think.
10.
Yeah, it would hit all of them as well, so it's up to you if you want to use it or not.
I don't know. You guys did leave me stuck to a chair for a long time, so.
Technically, you weren't left stuck to the chair. You were stuck to the chair of your own volition.
We couldn't do anything about it.
It was that or damage the ship, and we just got the ship.
Where's the paperwork?
This once, I'll let you off the hook. Just this once. But I am going to let's reckless and rage and attack Mr. Miz. In front of me.
I apparently all my gift tokens are female. I need to find some male gift tokens.
Whichever one it is, it's okay. I will hit them equally. All right, so if I'm reckless, roll with advantage and then add my strength modifier. 19, so be what? 19?
19 will hit.
Yes. And then I am going to smash with my maul, and is 2d6, 5, 6, 8. So that should be 10 damage.
You watch as the maul smashes into him. The cocky confidence is really fallen off this guy's face now. Like, his snazzy, long red cloak is splattered with blood. There's blood here and there. There's a chink out the side of his shiny silver sword, and singe marks on the hilt where he got hit by electricity. And Uriell sort of looks around and realizes the fact that he is now surrounded on all sides. And he looks up towards the ship and sees that the help from that direction does not seem to be coming. And he definitely looks rather worried at this point. And Torvald, it's your turn.
So Torvald is going to be swinging around this spiritual weapon. He's going to say, "Are you ready to surrender yet?"
I surrender.
All right, drop your weapon.
The sword hits the snow. And Pence, Adair, it's your turn next. You want to do something?
I'm a little occupied, so I would not necessarily hear the conversation going on down there. I assume this is a single string bolt throwing ballista. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to attack the string on the ballista to disable it.
Okay.
I want to break the string.
Inanimate object rolls.
Yeah.
God, I always forget. You still roll to hit inanimate objects? Do you auto hit an animate?
Usually you do, and you just DM sets an appropriate armor class for the inanimate object and challenge. So.
All right. Let's see if you can hit an inanimate object.
That is going to be a 16 to hit.
Yeah, I'll say that's definitely enough to hit.
Okay.
Twice.
And that will be 9 slashing damage to the string.
The string sort of snaps and you hear the crunch of... I've never snapped a string on a ballista, so exactly how and what way it falls apart.
The wings would pop outward and the bolt would just kind of fall off onto the ground. Hopefully I would be smart enough not to be standing in front of the arm, otherwise it would smack me pretty hard, but I'm hoping I would be smart enough not to be.
And you knew this was about to happen. Unfortunately, the Gith nearby didn't. You hear the ow! They get hit across the head because they crouched down to hide behind this ballista.
With my movement and the now injured Gith, I would like to turn towards him, growl, and start walking towards him. And my intention is to back him up and make him jump off the edge of the boat.
Alright, make me an intimidation check at advantage.
Yeah. The good roll was a 3.
At advantage?
Yeah. The bad roll was a nat 1.
The gift just seems frozen in place, like they are... They're not backing up anywhere, they just seem to have, like, shut down in complete fear.
His roll was...
I actually get a second attack, so since he doesn't move, I'm going to bite him.
Okay.
And that's going to be a dirty 21. Well, it has to be dirty, but a 21.
So if you're using a 21-sided die, then...
I'm not, I promise. And
It'd be a nat 21 if you had, like, blessed or something.
There you go. Well, there you go. So that is going to be a 6 damage. And me muting my phone. Sorry about that.
It was a good song.
Yeah.
Very celebratory for the
Yeah.
landing of the attack.
I got him.
It's a bard multi-class.
He's a bard.
Bard. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, what was the damage on that before I...
That is 6 piercing.
Okay. Alright. Aldous. You've seen... So there seems to be a commotion going up on deck with the bear, and you've seen Torvald make his demand and... the Gith surrounded by the others, he's dropped his sword. What would you like to do?
So I've seen the sword drop, but I know that there's at least the 2 other Gith, and yes, this one's up here cowering, but this other one is hiding, and I think I'm gonna... Oh, I can't move that far. I'll move there. And I will move my arms like I'm going to start casting a spell, but I'm going to hold my action just in case this person right here does anything, does any sort of attack.
All right. So, the Gith, having dropped his sword, raises up his hands and goes, "It seems the tables have turned slightly here. I was going to offer you a friendly chat. I don't suppose you could extend the same kindness to me, and we can possibly come to a peaceable arrangement here."
You were making demands. Don't make it out like it was a peaceful talk.
Well, what are your demands? And the question now really goes to you are you continuing this fight? Or are you accepting surrender?
Are we surrendering?
No, are you accepting their surrender?
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I am still holding my action if anything should start the fight again.
Okay, well, I will remember that for... Okay, at this point, we are moving out of initiative.
Yay, we didn't kill anybody this time.
They have surrendered.
All right, put your hands behind your back. And then Torvald's gonna tie him up.
And he calls... have you got some rope on you? But yeah, he calls out. He goes, "Zavarin, Tava, stand..." Oh, you've already stood that.
I'm going to motion at the one that's hiding under the boat to come out here and drop weapons.
Torvald's also going to start pacing back and forth across the spiritual badger as he's talking.
Well, it's going to last for about another 30 seconds. So walk fast.
Between 30 seconds, you can probably get the full health that you've got. Or roll, what is it? Roll, I think it was 5 more.
5? Okay.
Yeah. So as Torvald's making his speech, he walks back and through the spiritual badge. And your captive looks from Torvald to sort of Ira, Kressara, and the Goliaths just standing around and goes, "Who are you people? Can I ask that much?"
Torvald, that's
The name is
17.
Torvald. 17?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. The name is Torvald.
Torvald.
It seems that you're terrorizing people around here, and we don't like it much. Taking people captive.
Well, yes. But it is... Would it be possible to have this conversation somewhere more comfortable than standing around in the snow?
I'm plenty comfortable. I'm sorry if you're not.
It's just a little uncomfortable on the arms here.
I also like to sit down, to be fair.
There's a tent right there.
I'd like to sit down to be bare. right next to the guy. Put my paw around the guy just a bit and kind of give him a bear smile.
Just this terrified you, just
Little bear hug.
Like whimpering.
Thank you. Yes, bear hug.
I'm gonna turn to the Goliath right behind me and ask him to. Can you help round up those two up there so that we can time them up too?
Yeah, sure. I think there's more up at the top of the valley. I don't know if they heard all this or if they're ignoring all this.
Maybe they're cowards like the rest of them, running away,
That might
not
be
helping out their leader. You must be a pretty poor leader.
Yeah.
Thank you for that assessment.
You're welcome. That was the best compliment I could think of.
I wouldn't have complimented him, but it's all right.
Some of them are less than enthusiastic about remaining in this place.
I'm gonna take a look around and see who or what else I see.
So, aside from the ones above the fight, further off across the valley, there are other people. They seem to have, the people that when you originally entered this valley were sort of doing some labor at the edge of this encampment have since stopped and are all just stood watching this go down. The black-clad sort of raider-like individual who's standing guard at them, looking slightly warily at you and at the three figures who had been doing the manual labor when you entered. And you can just raise their hands and call out over to you, Aldous. I don't want any trouble, okay? Alright? I'm not trying to start anything here.
Drop your weapons and come over here.
Alright, sure. Just promise not to turn into anything unnatural. Or
We'll see.
natural. Or
We'll see.
catch fire, or anything like that.
We'll see.
He takes a cautious step over, along with the more cowardly Gith, who has now
Ran away?
and now cautiously moving through the snow towards you, your new Goliath assistant in captive wrangling.
Awesome.
As they're doing this, I would like to try to kind of coerce them using, pushes and whatever to get the two people that are up on the deck together and moving off the ship to put them with the others.
Okay. The one that is pretty much comatose with fear, you can sort of kind of try to nudge along and just kind of.
You can do the mama bear thing and grab him by the scruff.
Well, there's two, so. Yeah.
Does Torvald see that one?
The other one is busy sort of to climb down the far side of the ship.
Did Torvald see this happening?
You can see that the bear up on the deck. You haven't got a clear view of what's going over sort of on the far side of the deck because it's high up, the angle. So you never probably saw that final other individual. They were out of your line of sight. But yeah, Actaea, you can see them just trying to climb down the other side of the ship.
I will go over there. And are they climbing like a net, or are they just climbing the wood boards? Plankings?
Climbing the boards and the planking.
Okay.
Not very well. It seems slippery and icy, and you hear a yelp of "ow!"
I'll go over there and with my claw just bang and scrape up the side of the ship while growling down at him.
She lets go.
Oh, she. Okay. Cool.
And you hear a shout of pain as they fall and hit the ground beneath, slightly cushioned by a snowdrift. But she's now lying down on the ground on the far side of the ship. And Mr. Bear, I think Are you a talking bear? Hello, Mr. Bear?
I'll gladly growl. Roar a little bit.
She's sort of measuring up the distance down the side of the ship, sort of the distance along the side of the ship, looking for cover. You sigh. I surrender.
And I'll big bear head nod.
And starts trudging her way around the ship to
Okay.
join her companion.
I will watch her going around the ship, and I will turn around to the other cowardly head-whacked Gith, and with a paw gesture to get down that ramp. But I'm going to keep an eye on the other one until it makes its way around the boat.
They clamber down towards your prisoner corral. So by this point, you've got sort of two of the black-clad individuals that you'd seen before, like on the raiding vessels, and two Gith captives, and the three like worker labor people are just kind of staying out the way.
Are they chained? Do I see if they're chained or not?
They don't appear to be chained now.
All right, I'm gonna go over there and grab any of the weapons that the black-clad person dropped.
Okay, so consider yourself in possession of a hand axe and a short sword.
Torvald's going to look at our two Goliath friends and say, "Help me tie them up." And we're gonna pull out some more rope, and we're gonna try to tie up these four.
You carry an awful lot of rope, Torvald.
I mean, we have a lot of rope on the ship.
You do. You bought a lot for safety procedures.
I mean, we were basically just like tying up their hands. It doesn't take a ton of rope for
Yeah,
that.
no, you did buy a lot of rope to make seatbelts.
Yes, we did. And extra.
Alright.
And once they're tied up, Torvald's gonna just kind of ignore everyone that we've captured, and he's gonna go over to first he's gonna go over to Ira, and he's gonna say, "Ira, how you doing? It looked pretty rough there for a minute."
I'm quite fine now, I think. Thank you.
All right. You fought well.
You don't have to lie to me, but thank you.
It's not a lie. I'm glad you're doing okay. And then Torvald's gonna go over to Kressara. Well, it's good to have you back.
It's much better to be here than to be a chair.
Do you know what happened? Like why you turned into a boat?
I don't have any idea. Hopefully when we have time I can speak to Ira about it, since she's flown it more often, and maybe we can see what happens. But for now, I think I'm going to stick with ocean sailing.
That's probably a wise decision.
For now.
But next time we'll just make sure to pull you off. I'm sorry we didn't do that in the first place, but it seemed like you had everything under control.
It's all right. I'll get you back for that later, and she'll punch him in the arm.
You know, I didn't come out of that fight unscathed, and the badger only healed me up so much. He's gonna kind of like rotate his shoulder a little bit. But regardless, it's good to have you back.
I'm gonna approach them real quick, and speak softer, because the Gith are right there behind them. I'm gonna say, we have people we can ask about that right now.
Do we want to tell them that we stole one of their boats?
They already know.
They already know we stole their boat.
I wonder if they have more. Perhaps we could all have a boat. You could have a boat, you could have a boat, and you could have a boat.
I
We'd
think
have
I think I'm fine sharing one boat because I don't have the energy for my own boat.
Aye, and if we're all piles in the boats, there won't be anyone to have a lookout or to protect the person in the chair.
That's point taken.
Okay, so we need to find your sister. We need to get information on the boats. And what are we doing with these people? I'm gonna wave at Adair and bring him over.
First, DM, Adair would like to investigate the boat to see if there's anybody else on it, because it looks like there's a cabin or something underneath the ballista.
Okay, so so this boat goes up. There's a cabin bit area underneath that. There's another whole other couple of stories of boat underneath. So this is quite a large boat. This has got lower levels. And looking at the door that leads down there, it's going to be a squeeze for a bear.
I would like to
Okay.
stick my nose in and take a deep breath and use my keen sense of
Alright.
smell.
Perception is advantage, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
You smell.
Your perception's only like at 700.
Well, that's true, but I'm using the bear's
Actually-
perception, so it's 22.
Okay, so breathing in deep of the sense of the boat, you smell the iron rust smell of metal, and sort of a slight tang you're not used to. It sounds like a strange, unnatural sort of mix of scents, but you also get a whiff of definitely Gith down there. You smell Gith. It smells like there's potentially more down there. And also something smells maybe a little bit of elf. Elves have got sort of a little, quite a distinctive sort of smell to them. And also cooking. Someone's been cooking down there. Smells mostly like fish. Someone's been cooking fish in an enclosed space. Terrible idea.
Yeah, people do it all the time.
Yeah, but it smells like there's people down there. And also perhaps that sort of hot smell, almost like some kind of furnace or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll walk over to the edge, look over towards them, and let out 3 roars to get their attention.
I'm already paying attention because I had looked up to bring you over, but
Right.
I saw you doing all that stuff, so I'm starting to walk up towards you.
And I'm going to go sit down off to the side a little bit of the doorway, and if anything comes out, anything threatening looking comes out, I'm going to kill it, or attempt to.
Okay.
What's that, lassie? Someone's stuck in the well.
Can bears use their middle finger? They have... Never mind.
They have 4. They have 4. Which one's the middle one?
Very good. You put thought into this before. Alright, so you're cracked down keeping watch on that door on the ship.
All right, Kressara, why don't you ask this lovely individual here where your sister is? I think we can leave that to you. And then Torvald's going to walk over and pick up his axe and put it back on the hook.
So this individual knows where my sister is.
I'm gonna say really loud. Probably knows where a lot of people are.
I am not aware. Is he looking at you, sort of squinting a little?
Raises an eyebrow.
Your sister wouldn't perchance be I would use my hand. The blonde girl, the blind one?
She looks a lot like me. Blonde hair, blind, yes.
Yes. Yes, I've met her a couple of days back. She's on the ship.
What ship?
That ship.
Go
What
and
did you
get
think?
her.
No, she's gone down the excavation. Go and get her.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. You're not gonna. He glances over towards Torvald and Ira, like, not gonna chop my head off if I move.
I'll walk with you if you'd like.
Or I can walk with you.
I'll take the first offer, please. And he starts making his way up, round past the huddle of captives, and up past Aldous. As he reaches like the scaffolding step bit, you watch him starting to struggle, trying to climb up onto the deck of the ship without his hands free.
Good.
Well, if I'm right behind him, I guess I'm going to help him up.
Yeah, Aldous and I can both kind of cheat.
Or if you'd like,
Actually,
I can come over and bite him on the head and lift him.
No, it's okay.
Give him a little hand up onto the deck, and he looks towards the doorway and goes, I think she's down there somewhere.
You'll hear. Can I hear her say that, or can I hear them say that?
You hear him say it. Well, actually, no, if you're back... Wait, you head up onto the ship as well. Yeah, you...
Yeah,
You
because I'm back behind them. I don't want a think. I want an I know.
Well, let's just
keep
go and get her.
tabs on where everyone is at every instant. But I believe that she is down there.
Well, let's go find
I
her
have
then.
permission to go below.
Yes. I'll grab, like, I'll link arms with him. How are his hands tied? Are they just tied like this?
Right. I guess
Yeah, so I'll just link arms. It's like, lead the way.
like, this is not really helping.
Yes, well, you almost killed me earlier, so I kind of get to latch onto you however I'd like.
You attacked me.
Touche. Let's go.
And make your way down this narrow, quite steep staircase into the bowels of the ship. It's dimly lit down here and smells of fish, and also sort of feel the heat of some kind of furnace beneath. And you head round down another corridor, and the Gith was looking around like, it really stayed down here through all that commotion. And as you get down, one of the doors opens, and you see a Gith warrior sort of lean out, sort of tousled hair, looks from you to the captain, and then shuts the door.
Appropriate response.
All right. I would have followed like 5 steps behind them. So.
Yeah. So as you head down into the depths, into the ship, down another level, and the heat grows, and you reach this quite sturdily built door of metal. And from the other side, you can hear voices. You can hear well, I can't see what you're doing. There's no need to be snarky with me. It was a metaphorical see. You see how we are tackling this problem, not an actual see. Are you always like this? I don't know what you mean. And you can hear a young woman's voice that you recognize to be Amalia, and also an unfamiliar man's voice coming from behind this door. And your captive goes, I believe she has been assisting our engineer. He required someone with nimble fingers to help mend something.
And your first thought was naturally the blind girl?
He volunteered. Someone asked the prisoners.
Wait, is
"Did any
Kressara
of you-"
inside downstairs as well?
Yeah, I'm following along behind everybody.
Okay, so that means it's just Torvald up there with the 2 Goliath and Adair on the top of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's quite crowded down here in the ship.
I'm going to be behind everybody.
It's quite sort of cramped quarters. Imagine sort of like, well, if you've ever been on any kind of older, smaller ship where you've got sort of quite low ceilings, quite narrow corridors, steep, cramped staircases. This is not a luxurious vessel. But yes, your captain goes, we asked for prisoners good at a certain task, and she volunteered.
We'll get her.
I can't knock on the door. My hands are tied.
Use your face.
I'll knock.
Hands to knock.
Before that happens, Ira will go ahead and knock on the door.
We're busy. Githrak, come back later. I'm busy. Delicate moments.
Ira will just open the door then.
And up at you looks a quite oldish looking half-elven man, grey streaked hair, a set of goggles pushed up on his forehead, and he's standing around this strange device. It fills most of the room. These several interlocking rings of metal seem to form almost sort of an astrolabe sort of shape, these interlocked rings of metal, currently stationary, filling up most of this room. There's also a work table beside it, and perched on the edge of this work table is Amalia. And the half-elf looks up to Ira as she opens the door, and he goes, I've not seen you before around here.
Yes, well, I'm the captain now, so my name's Ira, nice to meet you.
And he stands up on his tiptoes a bit to look back and goes, friends of yours, Grallian, are they? And the Gith gives no response.
He's not speaking because he knows I'm the captain.
Well, Captain, can I get a pay rise?
Yes, definitely.
Great. Well, there's more of you?
Yes, we're all captains. We decided to split captaining up into multiple teams just to be more efficient because it's a large boat. And as captain, your helper is no longer your helper. She belongs to one of the other captains.
Is that Ira? Is that you?
Yes. Hello.
Oh, sorry, I recognize the voice. Is my sister about?
Yes, she's one of the other captains.
Oh, that's nice. Kressara?
What exactly did you volunteer to do, my dear?
Mend something? It was very boring. They just left me in a prison because apparently I wasn't very useful. So
That's all right. It will be avenged.
Are you all right?
I am fine now. How about you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Did they keep you in chains?
No.
I am going to speak over them and say, "Where's Calder?"
Oh, Calder was helping make some mine props for the excavation. They needed people down there. We thought it was best just to cooperate because I said you'd be coming at some point. And I didn't want to have run away in case you came and I wasn't here.
Okay, I'm gonna turn right around, let them deal with their thing, and I'm gonna leave the boat.
Okay. As you pass the previous captain, you can just see his expression of one of sort of, if one could encapsulate it, a case of like he is so done with these people.
I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder as I walk past him.
So, as Aldous heads back out of the ship, we're going to leave the family reunion for a moment, and Torvald, up outside, you've been left with the remainder of the prisoners gathered over by your 2 Goliath allies. It's sort of standing there shuffling in the snow.
All right, so what is it you're doing here exactly?
The 2 humans look over to the Gith. The 2 Gith look to each other, and one goes, "Das
Aryan.
Vater.
Well, it seems we have a language barrier going on here. Can one of you translate?
And then you hear a little voice in the back of your mind that goes, "Do I have permission to speak in your mind?"
Aye, he says telepathically.
You need to, I think you need to talk back to me.
Who's talking to me?
Oh, me. And one of the Gith waves.
All right, what are you doing here?
Well, you want the full explanation?
Aye,
so,
that's what I asked for. I say what I mean.
Where to start? Okay, so about 50 years ago. No, hang on, no, that's not. Okay, no, maybe I should start with that bit. Okay, no, about 50 years ago, our captain, Gralian, heard about a weapon that is supposedly in this world of yours. That would potentially help us in the Great War, and no one would fund a mission to go find it, so it took him a while to get some volunteers together. So we came here to look for it, and employed some locals. The Gith points over to the 2 black-clad humans to give us a bit of a help and find us some laborers and some local knowledge. And they brought us some laborers in to give us a hand with the excavation, and some local elders who might know some stories. We found the tomb. We found the door of it. We couldn't get in, so they brought us some more people to help. Then one of our ships went missing down south.
I have us to thank for that one.
Oh, that explains a lot. Then another of our ships went missing.
Again, us.
And then you guys turned up. I think that
That's
explains
also
everything.
us. What is this great war you're talking about?
Oh, so I should have started earlier on. Okay, so a long time ago.
In a galaxy far away.
Yes, actually, yes.
I
You know that bit.
I've heard something like it before.
There was an evil empire
It's a fairy tale.
ruled over by these terrifying monsters. We call them the Mind Flayers.
These mind flayers, do they look like this?
Oh god, yes!
We might have killed one before and then made a potion out of its body and...
They're here! They're here!
At least one of them is. That's the only one we've seen so far. He looked normal and then we attacked him. And then he looked all like this again.
There is never just one. There's always the creeping colony. They amalgamate. They get inside your head. Literally, they get inside your head and they turn you into them. They assimilate and they grow and they will consume the universe as we know it. All the spheres, and all of it shall fall before them.
Potion out of his body.
They're here.
At least one of them is. What is going on?
What's going on?
Somebody's watching and their
Feedback.
microphone's picking up the stream on the 15-second delay.
It's like we've got an echo.
You've got a mind flayer in your head, Torvald.
Well, I'm not really sure what's going on.
Get inside your mind and they twist you and they make you one of them. And they made us what we are. Our entire race. They kept us. They were our slaves. And then we broke freedom. We found freedom. And we swore our race, the Gith Yankee, we swore that we would destroy them forever. And that is the war we have fought ever since.
So they enslaved your people, and you didn't like it very much, did you?
No.
So why'd
Well,
you go
I was-
around enslaving other people? How does that make any sense?
Wait. We're enslaving people?
I.e., taking people without their consent, making them work for nothing. That's slavery.
We were just told this is how the locals did it.
Even so, why wouldn't you do it differently?
We pay those guys. And he points over to the black-clad mercenary.
Are these the one? Do they have the symbol on their shield?
They do, yes.
Okay. Well, these are the worst of them.
Hey! I don't know
Yeah,
what
but-
you're saying. I don't know what they're saying to you, but I heard that.
You better shut up. Last time I checked, your hands were tied.
This is really hard for someone who likes gesticulating. You know that.
I understand. Why do you think we did it? Your people are scum. They killed my father. So pipe down, or I'll end your life. Sorry about that. You see what I mean?
I didn't understand what
It's probably better that way. So your people are enslaved by these mind flayers, or whatever you call them.
we broke free.
All of you.
Now- Yes.
And how'd you do that?
That's a long time ago. Well, the exact story has been... I'm not familiar with that bit off the top of my head. I'm not one of the great elders. I'm just... I work on a ship. I'm a Abel Kruben?
And do I think that they're telling the truth?
Make me an insight check.
Oh, Jesus. That's a 1.
Oh no.
I mean, it's an 8.
They're
But it's
really
an-
hard. It's quite hard to get a read on them between the mind talking and the alien features and the hands being tied to the lack of gestures. It's hard to get a read.
All right. Well, assuming you're telling the truth, I have a lot to discuss with my friends. What are you doing with this ship specifically?
It's broken. We're trying to fix it.
And are these your ships, made by your people? Are they from the Mind Flayers?
These are our ships. We would not be seen on filthy, illithid vessels.
I don't know your culture. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know your culture. In ours, it is customary to exchange names.
The name's Torvald.
Tarver.
What was that? Carver?
Tarver, with a T.
Tarver?
Tarver.
Tarver. Okay.
You're called Torvald and you're laughing at my name.
Well, it must be a culture thing, I guess. Well, sit tight for now. I know you don't have a choice, but maybe we can get you somewhere more comfortable. And Torvald's gonna try to. Is there a tent somewhere?
Yeah, there's a tent.
There's a
All
tent behind you.
There's a
All
tent behind.
Torvald's gonna gesture at the, ask the Goliaths to help him bring them into the tent so they're a little more comfortable.
Okay, so you're bringing the prisoners into the tent.
Not the other two. Not the other two. Just the
Okay.
Gith.
Just the Gith. Okay. And
Yeah.
as Torvald
They can
is
rot
and
in the cold
Goliath
forever.
sort of taking the Gith into the tent, Aldous, you see this going on as you make your way down off the ship.
All right. I'm going to well, before I go off of the ship, I'm going to tell Adair what's going on downstairs inside the ship. I'm going to say, okay, so Amalia was down there. She's helping some elven or half-elven person fix something. There are more of these people in there, but they are avoiding confrontation. And Kressara still seems hurt.
You're telling Torvald this?
No, I'm telling Adair this because he was up there waiting right outside the door of the ship.
Right.
A bear?
Yes.
A bear.
Adair
yes.
the bear.
A bear.
Up there. I was going to say, but I was muted.
Yeah, just a bear.
I'm just a bear. I'm only a bear. Adair's going to nod at you and then look towards the front, the fore of the boat, and kind of point that way and start walking that way as he wants to go investigate what looks like it's the chair.
Oh, they did say this boat is damaged, so it might not work.
Adair the bear heads off to investigate the chair up there.
Because I care.
Because you can.
I'm a care bear.
Okay. This is not going to end.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. So Albus.
After I tell him that, and as he goes to investigate everything else, I'm going to leave the ship. And I'm going to first check in on these people that are right here next to the logs, the laborers, I guess. I'm going to check in on them first.
And one of the guys looks quite familiar. There's a human, obviously a half-orc and a Goliath. And the human, you think you've seen him visit your family's farm maybe once or twice. It's like a hunter-trapper who occasionally trades around through the area.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks you up and down and goes, So, are you guys in charge now?
Sort of. You guys, yeah.
Great.
As far as I can tell.
Can I go home? Because I don't want to be here.
I do want you to go home, but first we've got to check what's going on downstairs. And having a little bit of help will help with that. We don't know what's going on, so.
All right. Well, I can show you. I'll show you where they're keeping the others if you like.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, because as soon as I get out of here, I'm not a carpenter. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's fine. Well, hopefully once all this is done, you can definitely leave, go home.
Yeah, well, I'm Eric.
Yeah, Eric. I've seen you before.
Yeah, you're Aldous, right?
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
how's your mother?
She's fine. A little angry, but fine.
And your father? It's been a while since I had a good get together with him. And as you make your way down into the tomb, he carries on questioning you about each of your family members by name, having remembered them all in great detail.
And I will go into the best ability, because it's been a few days since I've really sat down and talked with each of them individually. So,
yep. So as you make your way down, those sort of slope steps. This excavation leads to there's a big stone lintel carved with ruins, and beyond it the corridor slopes down. And the design and the build of it is very similar to that which you saw when you found the tomb of King Hjalmar up from the underneath.
Okay.
Turn of the corridor. And as you make your way down, you reach a solidly built wooden door. It looks quite newly, freshly built, cut timbers. It's been placed into this old stone doorway. And as you reach it, Eric's just getting to, and remind your cousin that we're gonna have a get together in about 2 weeks' time to sort of discuss that new salmon trapping route. Yep.
Elna?
Yes, Elna. Yeah, that's the one.
Or Aina? Or Tate?
Aina.
Okay. Yeah. If I see them before you do, definitely.
And he reaches this door and goes, that's where they've been keeping us when we're not working.
Is there a key or is it?
There's sort of a locking bar on the outside. It's just a bar you can lift.
Oh, okay. Can you help me? Is it locked?
It's down at the moment. Yeah. So.
Okay. And do I see anything that might suggest a fight coming up? Like, do I see guards or anything further down, or? You
can see a little further down. You can see, like a chair sat by the door, and beside it, like an empty plate. No current sign of a guard.
Okay. I am going to ask Eric to help me unbar this.
Yeah. They usually have a guard on here, but they've been a bit understaffed recently. There was a bit of an several incidences there.
Yes, we've run into some of them before we came up here, and have dispatched them.
Yeah, there's been a bit of commotion. You put from down that corridor a few times. People keep going down there and they don't come back.
Yeah, that would be us.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All right. We unlock the door, and I'm gonna try to open it.
The wooden door swings open, and you see beyond it this dark, dingy room lit by one sort of small, smouldering torch near the door, and there's several rough sleeping pallets and laid out on the floor, very rough, sort of like a bit of straw and a blanket or two. A couple of people appear to be asleep, but there's a couple of people at the far end that maybe sat up playing dice, and you can recognize, even with his back to you, you recognize Calder, your brother.
Hey, Calder.
Who appears to be playing dice with a small gnome woman, an old human woman with grey hair tangled around her, and a dwarf. And the four of them appear to be. Calder looks around and goes, Aldous! Aldous. No. Aldous. What are you doing here?
We've come to get you.
The guards?
A good number of them are missing.
Oh. Thank the gods. You came all the way up here?
Yeah. People have been missing, and well, mother and father are upset, both at me vanishing, but also at the fact that you vanished for a very different reason. But yeah, we're here. We're trying to stop whatever's going on.
I honestly thought it just kind of left me here. Like, how long has it been? It feels like it's been ages, but it's hard to keep track of time when you're down here in the dark.
That's kind of hard to say because apparently I've lost track of time as well. So it's been a few weeks since I last saw you. Like,
It was.
DM, how many weeks? How many weeks were we in the mirror place?
You were in the mirror place for I think 9 days, and then there was the other incident where you lost a couple. Then you still Calder after the last time you went to the Fae. It's hard keeping track of time when things go missing.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. So, yeah, we're trying to make sure everything's cleaned up here. We've got Amalia outside. Well, sort of. She's fine.
I wasn't actually worried for her. She's a little bit terrifying sometimes.
Well, so is her sister.
Yeah, they tried to make her dig some holes or something, and then she threatened to set fire to everyone and everything, and yeah.
Well, I kind of do the same thing now too, so that's fine.
Right. Oh, guys, this is my sister. She's come to rescue us. Everyone, sister, everyone.
Hi. You can either stay here or go upstairs.
I'm coming outside. I want to see some fresh air. Have they come back past yet?
Who's they?
Oh, earlier when I was by the door, the angry lady and a bunch of the guards went down to the lower levels. They're not come back yet.
No. I don't know. Angry lady?
Have you not met? And Calder goes, yeah, there's one of them who's really, really, really angry about a lot of things. She doesn't seem to speak common, but she and the guy, have you seen the one with the red cloak?
Oh, the guy with the red cloak, yeah. He's upstairs and tied up.
Those two don't like each other.
All right. Well, I will be right back, and I'm gonna leave again.
Okay. So as you step out the door, you hear the sound of boots and feet approaching from further down this corridor. Further down past past where they've been holding their prisoners. And up round the edge of this corridor, you see 3 armed Gith and a pair of black-clad mercenaries. And as they come into view, I think we're going to take a quick break.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Put chocolate in my mouth at the wrong point. Terrible mistake.
I don't think there's ever a wrong point to put chocolate in your mouth.
I would have
Point
to
made.
beg to differ. In that there are certain times you do not put chocolate in your mouth.
Oh, please do expound.
A shower, the toilet, anytime. If you have chocolate on hand, eat it.
Okay, so welcome back to Isfjell, where the party has been split up 5 different ways. Better to interact with the 6 billion NPCs that I had a chance to create over the Christmas holidays. Never give your DM time. The NPCs will breed. All right, so we go back down to the tunnels beneath the ice, where Aldous has reunited with her brother and found the other prisoners, but discovered that there are still Gith in this encampment who have not yet surrendered. So, Ira, as you stand in the corridor with your new friend Eric, not Ira, Aldous. Aldous, as you stand in the corridor with your new friend Eric, you see coming rounding the corner 3 Gith and 2 black ships mercenaries.
All right.
What would you like to do?
I am going to first, before anything else, I am going to contact Sindri and say, I need help. And I'm going to mentally pass the image of people showing up ready to fight.
Okay.
And then as soon as that's done, I'm going to turn to Eric and ask him, hey, see, you want an axe or a short sword?
Axe.
I hand him the axe, and then I go to Calder. Calder, do you want a short sword?
Short sword.
I give that to him.
You have my axe and my sword.
And
roll initiative.
all right.
What's the timeline looking like as far as, because I saw her go down there, right?
Yes, you saw her go down there about 5 minutes ago.
Okay. I think Torvald would start to get worried and want to check
Torvald's
on
the
her.
nearest, right?
Yeah, Torvald's right outside the entrance.
Okay. What did you get, Aldous?
I got a 17 total.
Okay. I think you are officially doing better than... Okay. Torvald, I'll give you an update at the moment you get a signal from Sindri. Okay. Unless Aldous is already dead. In which case Sindri disappears, which is a hell of a signal. So, Aldous, you're acting first in this.
Oh, yay. They haven't yet turned the corner, correct?
Yeah, just reached the corner. At the point you're handing out the weapons. The first one just stepped around the corner as you were handing out weapons.
Okay. I am going to use Eldritch Blast on that person. And I am going to do this super quick. Yeah, that is a 10.
A 10? A 10 does not hit her, no.
Okay. I'm
And
changing out my dice.
And Eric goes charging into the fray with his hand axe. And swings, and his hand axe strikes against the stone wall of the tunnel. And you see chips of rock go flying, and he comes back round. But Eric misses, and the Gith draws her sword and takes a swing at Eric. And there is a sickening crunch. And Eric crumples down to the ground. And the Gith takes a step forward over Eric's fallen body as he falls to the ground. And says, "Get back in the room, prisoner."
I am signaling to Sindri again. Now.
So as they start charging forward, outside, Torvald, there's a cat pawing at your leg.
What's with these animals telling me about danger?
Meow!
What is it, Sindri? Is there something wrong with all this?
Meow!
All right, I'll go check on her. You go get the others. And Torvald's gonna run down and dash down there to get as far as he can.
So you start dashing down there. I'll let you know when you enter the map.
Okay.
Calder. Oh, that's all of them. Calder takes a step out, stand behind. Oh, Torvald, roll initiative, by the way. So that I know when to put you in your turn.
With my very low perception that I have, is it possible I noticed this going on?
Your passive perception is like
19.
3 million.
Yeah.
You see Torvald head down into the excavation, and the cat start plodding its way unhappily through the snow. Like.
Okay. Well, when it's my turn, let me know. I have something I'd like to do, and I'll be quiet till.
Alright. What did you get, Torvald?
15.
15. Okay. Alright, so Calder takes a step to stand behind the side. Aldous goes, "What's the plan? What's the plan?"
To get out of here, more people are upstairs.
Okay. And he starts backing off down the corridor. Not so that keeping his weapon in his hand and ready. Aldous, it's back round to your turn again.
Okay, I am going to back up, keeping pace with Calder, and I am going to throw another firebolt at the person directly in front of me.
Okay. You also decided to put chocolate in your mouth at an opportune moment.
Yes, that is a 7 plus 6, so that is 13.
That will not hit. And Eric does not get a turn. He's dead. As you're backing up, you hear the sound of someone running from behind you. It seems like you're surrounded. You hear feet coming down the corridor behind you, and then at this moment, Torvald arrives on the scene.
Sweet.
All right.
Self in behind Aldous and Calder as the Gith leader disappears and reappears in front of Aldous and just shoots her sword down across towards Aldous.
Do I have a chance to say something first, or do I have to wait?
You can say something as this is going on, but at the moment you're arriving, you see the sword swinging down onto Aldis, and that is a crit. That actually hit.
Oh.
So, Aldis, you take 15, 20, 26 points of slashing damage as this sword slices across you.
Okay, and on that moment, I'm going to use my Hellish Rebuke as a reaction.
Alright, yes.
Alright.
Saving throw for me?
It is a saving throw. You have to do better than a 14. It's 14. Dex.
Dex, that is a 12.
Alright, in that case, you get 3d10. 1, 2, 3. 8 plus 6 plus. So 16 fire damage.
Okay, 16 points of fire damage. So, toward you, Watchiston, as they swing their sword down across Aldis and burst of flickering flame across them.
Mm-hmm.
The mercenaries, the other two Gith, one moves down there. One of the others peers in sort of the door to where the prisoners are being kept and sort of waves their sword in the direction of the remaining prisoners. Calder looks to Aldis and looks at the armored woman taking a swing at Aldis and takes a swing back against the one who just attempted to behead his sister. But sadly, his borrowed sword glances off the Gith's armor. And they are not doing anything. So Aldis, it's back around to you again.
I am still standing, correct?
Yes. If you've still got some hit points, then yes.
All right. In that case, I am going to use Thunderclap. I'm going to clap my hands at the person directly in front of me, and she has to beat a 14 con save.
Thunderclap, 14 con save. Con. I'm afraid that is a 16.
Okay.
Does it do anything on half, or is it
each creature within range? So each person other than me within 5 feet must make a con save. So that means my brother and Torvald as well.
Yes. Calder has a 10.
The
Okay,
DC is 14, right?
Yes, 14. So Calder has to take a 1d6. That's 3 damage.
Okay.
I rolled an 18, so I'm good. You notice the thunder just gets absorbed into Torvald, like he just like sucks it in.
But on that note, I am going to take the 1 step away that I can.
Alright. She gets an attack of opportunity.
Yes, she does, because I did not disengage.
Yes, she does. That is 18 to hit.
That hits.
Sorry. That is 10 points of slashing damage.
And I'm down.
Okay, so as Aldis goes to take a step away, she is down and unconscious. And Torvald, it's your turn.
All right, stop. I know about your war with the Mind Flayers. We want to help you.
Make me a persuasion check.
I was so close to a nat 20. It was just like, ah. But that's sadly, that's gonna be a 9.
Doesn't seem to register with her. Maybe she's not as familiar enough with the language to recognize it, or maybe she's just not listening. It doesn't seem to register. You still have your turn then.
All right. So then, seeing that did not work, Torvald is going to put his hands on Aldous and say, "Thunderer, aid me!" and cast a Cure Wounds for 11 points of healing. So that thunder that came into him from that thunderclap, he's going to redirect, and it's going to go through his hand into her and heal her.
Okay, and that's 6?
No, 11.
Oh, 11.
Okay. Is that everything, Torvald?
Torvald is also going to take a step up. Actually, no. Torvald's going to stay where he is.
Now she has to put the effort in to do that. And she disappears and reappears. On the other side of Calder. Calder just looks very befuddled by the event. As she takes a step next to Torvald and takes a swing at Torvald, but that's a 17.
That will not hit.
No. Sadly, I think you probably want to get hit.
Not necessarily. I'm trying to convince them to stop fighting here in a rare move for Torvald of diplomacy.
Calder, the mercenaries around here take a step, but at this point, there's a yelp from the Gith who is standing by the door peering in to look at the prisoners, and then you watch as they get pulled back in through the doorway, and you hear from inside the prison room. And their companion peers round to look in. And there, a cat is meowing at you. Meow, meow.
With the cat there, and having seen Torvald go charging down, Adair's going to face towards the doorway and just roar with all the intent he can, and then use his full movement at a dash to try and get down to the entrance and get in the cave.
How much movement does a bear have? It's 40, right?
It's 40, yeah.
Okay.
And 30 climb. 30 climb is however we need to break down getting off the boat too.
Yeah.
So.
About around worth probably. Torvald got there in 50, and then didn't need all of his movement to do that. Okay, so Aldous, you are conscious again, and this Gith is still there with her sword. One of the ones in the corridor appears to be gone now, but what would you like to do?
I am going to I'm going to cast Misty Step, and I'm going to whisper to myself the little phrase that I use to move, and I'm actually going to move over here I
Okay.
think that's the correct distance.
You can move up to 30 feet.
I think so.
Yeah, Adair, roll me an initiative, by the way, for when you arrive. Okay. So Misty Step's a bonus action, right? So
Yep. And then that I am going to cast Firebolt at the woman that's standing next to my brother.
okay.
And that's a 10.
Oh, not hit, sadly.
What is wrong with my dice?
You're not having much
today?
luck, are you, tonight? I think you melt them
No.
all down. Little sacrificial altar is like a threat for the next one.
Oh, they're metal die. They're metal die.
Well,
It's your magnetic personality.
I know. It's too negative these days.
yeah, too negative. All right, Torvald, it's your turn.
All right, so Torvald's gonna try again and say, "I told you, we're trying to help you. We don't want to hurt you."
Make me another persuasion check. No, for persistence.
Whoops. All right, that's a 16.
16. She glances back, lowers her sword tip a little, and says, "You are helping?"
Aye, we know about the mind flayers, and we want to help you kill them.
She calls back over to her companion, Athraskardash-Garadi. And then there's an answering call from inside the prison. It says, "We've got your knight hostage. We will kill her if you don't let us all go." And I suppose they too want to help, making threats against my people.
Well, you did attack us. We just learned about what you were trying to do. We thought you were trying to attack us. But now we know you're just fighting a war. And we killed one of the mind flayers earlier.
Well, in which case, I'd like to speak to your leader.
We don't have a leader per se, but I can speak on everyone's behalf.
You?
Aye? You got a problem with that?
No. She looks over back towards Aldous, who
I'm leaning against the wall.
this speaks for you. Have I said a wrong word? She motions to the other one to lay down their weapons. We are out of initiative.
If you could hear me in there, let the one you have captive go. I say
Why
to,
should
Amalia.
we?
Because we're making peace here.
I don't see why we should make peace with anyone.
Well, you're not really in a position to negotiate, are you? I'm trying to help, trust me.
Oh, fine. I've had it up to here with this ridiculous place. ridiculous people. Weird green people. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I am going to, at that moment, I'm going to use the wall to kind of support myself and walk over to Eric to check on him. And
Make me a medicine check.
yeah. That's a natural 20. Plus,
Eric's dead.
Plus.
Eric's dead. You're very sure of that.
Rip Eric. And Dave.
I am going to close his eyes, I guess, and then take the axe back, just in case.
It was a rental.
Yeah.
Right. So, Adair, at this point, you arrive onto the scene.
I would assume I come barreling in and kind of, hit the wall coming around the corner and seeing Torvald talking to whoever that is, peacefully. Is it dark in here? What's the light level?
It is dark, yes.
Okay, well, that would be about all he could see then. So he's just going to slow down and...
Keep forgetting light level. Add that to my list of things I need to remember.
Yeah. So he's just going to slow down and just pad his way up and get by Torvald, looking at the other one, and just make himself as big and threatening as he can.
It's all right, Adair. We've got it under control.
All right. He'll grunt.
Happy. I take it you have killed the captain of our vessel?
We have not
Well,
killed him.
Oh,
I heard you might be disappointed at that. What?
he's been talking about me.
Well, I would assume he's not as big of a threat as the Mind Flayers, now is he?
Please stop mentioning them. It's bad luck.
Well, I'm sorry. I just learned what they were called, so... They don't appear if you say their name 3 times or anything, do they?
Let's not test it.
All right.
Though I would much like to kill some.
They make a pretty mean potion. Let you read minds, and then does some crazy stuff afterwards.
Right, well.
So,
Yeah.
your friend there mentioned that they come in groups, and we only fought one. Do you have any idea where they might be hiding?
I did not know there were any on this world. Had I known, I would be out there hunting them. For they should not be suffered to live in this world. And it is our duty to hunt them down should we ever see them. For we are will made manifest. We are her unsheathed sword.
Who is she?
Larkith.
And who's that? Is that a god or something?
Primitive peoples. She is the leader of our kind. There are many more of us than you see here.
Are you native to this planet? Or world?
No. We do not come from your world.
Well, we've certainly seen
get
some
out of
strange...
this tunnel, please?
Please. Calvin.
Are you doing okay out there, Aldous?
No.
I am sorry. Thunder didn't heal you quite as much as I thought he would.
With that, Adair will shift back into human form and try and edge his way behind Torvald. He doesn't want to get behind him and the sword lady. and go over to Aldous and cast a Cure Wounds.
Okay.
How much does she get?
I'm rolling now. That's gonna be 5.
It's better than nothing.
Okay, so as you emerge back up out of the underground area, we return to the ship and to Ira and Kressara and Amalia and mysterious mechanic. I don't think. I believe when it was like ages ago when we left, Kressara was being reunited with her sister. Molly goes, how did you get here so fast? You kept the boat?
We did keep the boat. And it does fly. Ira's far better at flying it than I am, of course. And I accidentally got stuck.
Stuck? What do you mean, stuck?
I sort of turned into a chair? Ship-ish?
Okay. You are not allowed anywhere near that ship again. Okay?
Well,
No.
I can sail it in the water. Perhaps we should just let the flying stay with Ira.
Lyra.
Flyra, we'll let her do it.
As the two of you are conversing, the other man sort of sidles over towards Ira. Yes. So,
Yes.
do you have any missing siblings here?
No. My siblings live very, very far from here.
Are they also blessed with the winds?
No. They're just humans.
Oh, well, it's a shame. It's a long while since I've seen any of your kind, and there were any here. Sorry.
You know another one?
Oh. I've known a few in my time, a long, long way away.
Where?
It's a long and complicated story. We should go. I can tell you over. I think I've got some bottles of wine tucked away somewhere on the ship. I'm happy to tell you this story in full detail at some point. If you're sticking around.
What is this thing? This big thing?
This. I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you're glad I asked.
This is, well, should be before a little accident. It is the astral drive.
Wow.
It is a marvelous invention of they call themselves the Gith, with Yankee. I don't know if they invented it or if they stole it. They might have stolen it. They do seem to like acquiring things, like me. Anyway, they allows them to travel between this plane and the astral plane. And realm of thoughts and sea of mystery.
And it's broken?
Yes, it's currently broken.
Oh.
We had a bumpy landing here.
Well, how do you fix it?
Well, there's some ingredients and materials that I believe would be able to replicate some of the parts that are missing. There's a certain sort of crystal I've been trying to get my hands on.
Oh, what does it look like?
Sort of just glows softly. Sort of misty colours like blues and greens. We had some, and then Grallian. You met Grallian. You've got him captive over there.
Yes.
Grallian invited a couple of little people, I think gnomes or something, to discuss the dig, and they ran off with a load of his stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, so we had some crystals, and then they stole them.
How many crystals to be exact?
I think it was 3?
Okay, so we know of 3, right? And where would we think the location is for each of them?
Sorry?
So there's 3 crystals, and where do you think they'd be?
I don't know. Presumably thieves have sold them many times at this point.
So let's say hypothetically you have 2 of the 3 crystals.
Yes?
Is that enough to fix it, or do you need all of them?
Possibly 2 might do it. I'd have to have a little fiddle around.
Okay. Hypothetically, do you know anything about these crystals other than that they can do the astral thing?
They come from another plane. What's the local world? Around here, I believe you call it the Fey. The Feywild. So they come from there. And if you can get there and find the crystals, then you can bring them back here. It's to do with the difference between planes and the polarity of the planes. When you bring the crystal of one plane, it resonates, you see, at opposite frequencies to a crystal from this plane. And if you pair the two, anyway, I won't go into more detail. I tend to ramble.
Okay, so let's say I've acquired a replica of these crystals, but they're not actually the crystals.
I don't think a replica would work, to be honest. I think it has to be
Okay, but hold on. I've got the replica, right? They're not the real crystals, but I have like a fake version of them just because I too am an astral enthusiast. So here are the crystals, and I will pull out the one that she has. These are what they look like, or is this a different crystal?
Are you showing him the glass wand or the crystals?
The glass wand? I thought that's what it was.
Someone had some crystals, and someone else had a glass wand, or 2 bits of a glass wand. No.
Okay.
I think Ira had all of the crystals and the wand. I think she took it in her bag.
The 2 pieces of the glass wand were fused back together.
Yes.
It's now one wand.
Yes, I have the wand, and I thought that's what we were talking about, so I pull out the wand.
You see his eyes go wide, and you hear a muffled sort of sound of pain and anger from your captive Gith, who's just
it's just a replica. You don't need to be mad. It's okay.
You have that. You're just holding it.
No, it's a replica. I don't know what it is. It's a replica. Can you tell me what it is? So maybe I can find the real one, because this is just a replica.
And the engineer sort of says, that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, well, is this what you were talking about? And I'll put it back. Oh, I think this is the bag that doesn't like to give things, and so I probably need to be making rolls.
Make an persuasion check.
Where did my d20 go? Hello?
You had the bag of withholding.
Hello? I've lost my dice. 1 second. Oh, there it is! I found it! Okay. Okay, and so it's a persuasion check?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't blame me for this item. Okay. It's solidly James' fault.
Oh, I blame James for everything. Okay, 9 for persuasion.
Nope, the bag's shut.
Okay, so I may have a replica of the thing you were talking about, but this is also a replica of something else, and you seem afraid of it, which means, yes. Okay, so what is it?
So, the Gith says, it's a replica of a very dangerous weapon.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, and
just please keep it pointed down and careful when you touch it.
It's broken, and it's also a replica, so you're okay.
So, and he glances around to sort of Amali and Kressara, who at this point have sort of finished catching up on family matters. And you hear this great commotion with Ira waving around this glass wand. It seems to have got longer since you originally had the glass wand. So it was about this long before, now it's this long.
Wait, so another piece?
No, as in, because Kressara only saw the first part of the wand.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like, this is doubled in length now since...
Yeah, she was a chair when you got the second piece before.
Yes.
It's part, only a small part, thank Larkith, of a very, very dangerous weapon.
Is it the weapon that you guys have been looking for? Or is that a different weapon?
No, yes, that is. I know about that. We came here to find it in the tomb. How did you get?
Oh, so this is it. That's so funny. Replica of it. That's so funny. Well, interesting. So where do you think the third replica piece is? Because I am an enthusiast that is hoping to collect this replica.
Well, each part shows the way to the next. Just theoretically, we're at the real one. I don't suppose I could go any way to persuade you to give it back.
I don't think so.
Because
well, what does it do? Because you said it's very dangerous.
In theory, well, the stories are very vague and full of portentous mentions of all sorts, but we think it could win the war forever. Banish the illithid threat, bring peace to planets and lands across all the spheres.
Okay.
But
so hypothetically, if you were to wield this weapon and it gave you visions, what does that mean?
Hypothetically, nothing at all. The visions are just nothing. No.
Inception, please.
Say it.
Are you gonna jump into his dreams?
Maybe insight.
Or insight, sorry. I said Inception.
Just, like, dive into his dreams.
You said dreams, and I said, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." Insight perception, please. Okay.
Inception.
Insight check. All right. It's a 16.
That's a lie.
Cool.
It's a fairly bad lie.
All right. Well, I'm going to believe you, and if you are lying, you've severely hurt my feelings, and therefore the likeliness of you getting this replica is very low. casually rolls.
The real that we need that. We need that weapon to win the war. We can't have it in the hands of whoever you people are, which I am still a little hazy on.
My name's Ira.
Gralian. So, look, we need that weapon. Your world holds the parts for it, and we need it. So I'm happy to pay for it. You can have my ship, the one that you've already got.
Well, so I only have 2 of the 3 parts, right? And you said that it leads us to the third part?
There's more than 3.
There's more than 3? I thought there were 3.
There's 7.
There's 7. I only have 2. Why would you want this already?
Well, that's what the stories say, that it was broken into 7 parts.
That's so fun. It's gonna be like a scavenger. Okay, so I mean, are you the good guys in this war? Like, are you trying to be good and protect people?
Our enemy is an army that puts worms into people's brains and turns them into aberrative horrors.
That does sound very bad. But you guys have also taken people captive, one of which was the sibling of one of our party members.
I presume you're pointing at me?
Yes, I am. Hello.
We are on the side of order, on the side of sense, and on the side of not being a mind flayer army.
Okay, and so what if you get the weapon and you go and win the war, what does that mean for us and Isfjell?
You don't need to worry about mind flayers.
But nothing else?
Well,
How do we know you won't turn and attack us?
why would we want to?
You've done it before.
Well, this world is, I'm sorry to sound rude, but a bit of a backwater. Honestly, if it wasn't, it took us a long time to even find out where it was. Trace the tales of the weapon to this world. Trust me, if you had something that the Gith wanted, you'd have found out about us a long time ago.
You wanted my sister and our people.
We needed magic users and those who might know stories to try and figure out a way through that damn door.
You could have just asked.
I'm going to teach you a trick. Pay attention. Hello, strange people. We need your help. Can we have some of your people to help us? Not fly in on a crazy ship, bang, bang, boom, and you steal all of our people. Incorrect response.
Yes, I see you may have a point there. Slight point. But we did talk to the first people we met when we landed. And we got them to help us.
Pretty sure you just took all of these people.
Well, we turned up, we communicated them in polite Yankee greeting, so he went to and then they attacked us.
Well, when I politely visit other countries to take shiny things that they probably have extra of and don't need, I know if I go rah, they tend to react poorly.
You are also a diplomat.
I am. Sure.
Well, you should probably teach us much about local customs.
I could teach you many customs.
Ah, yes. And Ira, beside you, the mechanic is just shaking his head. He leans over and goes, the Gith don't really understand the subtle approach.
Okay, I've been told I don't either, so I don't blame them.
What was I saying? And yes, your friend seems to be on the right wavelength for them.
Yes, they seem to be getting along well. And I do want to say, I once lived in a village with one of those mind flayer things, and nothing bad happened for a few years. So as of right now, track record wise, the mind flayers are kind of winning. So I think I need to get to know the Gith better and go on a scavenger hunt with you all for the rest of the weapon, because that sounds very fun. And I will hold on to it, and then when we assemble it, then we can decide if you get it or not. How does that sound?
And the Gith leader Granian said, are you offering me a choice? What's the other option?
Oh, well, I am the captain, so I guess you don't have a choice. Can we just go on a fun little adventure and find treasure?
I mean, this ship of ours is broken. It's...
I think we could fix it, probably. We've found all sorts of weird things. We have, like, this weird little ball thing that someone has. We have, like, crystal-y thingies. We've been to, like, a fey crystal alter dimension. I mean, we're pretty experienced in weird stuff like this, so we may be able to help.
You are offering to help us to mend this weapon?
Maybe. I'm one of 5. So I should probably ask everyone else. But I personally would really like to continue finding these crystals, because so far it's been pretty fun.
She's addicted to crystal. Don't do drugs.
Don't do magic ones either.
They make you hallucinate too.
Yeah.
Well, it seems if you and your companions are prepared to help us, and at this juncture, it's tied hands. My options, while not exhausted, are limited. We are in a strange world, with cut off from our allies, and your help would be much appreciated. But I understand that you may need to discuss with your subordinates. Well, I'm not going anywhere. You have stolen our 2 functional ships at this point. We are at your mercy.
That's so funny because you almost killed me earlier. I love this. Okay, let me go talk to the others, and we'll see what we do. But as of right now, I just have a replica, and that's all I can offer.
Yes. This is all, of course, completely hypothetical.
Yes, thank you, this entire conversation, hypothetical, yes. I'll go talk to everyone else.
Okay.
And I have no idea where everyone else is.
It has finished, is heading up back towards the ship with their companion, Gith, who is still armed with them. And if you make your way back up towards the ship, we'll say for the simplicity of time that Ira and Kressara, are you going with Ira? Or
Yes.
yeah, Kressara and Ira are sort of making their way back out onto the deck.
Now, Ira, I could help if you wanted to give them an option, a second option. They can either go with your plan, or I can punch a hole in every boat that they have, and then they can't really go anywhere.
Now that does sound appetizing, but consider this: the war that they're talking about frightens me, and I worry that if the whole war thing isn't settled, we might get involved, and I don't want that to happen.
Maybe I just tell them I'm going to punch a hole in the boat and then don't actually do it.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. We can continue hypothetical conversations.
I think we should do that.
Yes.
So, for Aldous, Torvald, and Calder and company, and that are making their way back to the boat. So Ira and Kressara, you see them approaching in the company of yet another Gith. This one is slightly more ornate armor than the average one, but slightly less ornate than the one you got downstairs.
And she also still has her sword.
She still has her sword. And she looks generally pissed off at everything.
I wonder if this will be a problem.
Greetings, Ira.
Torvald, did you know that I've been carrying a mass weapon of destruction around with me?
I kind of figured as much.
Did you really? Because I had no idea. And now that I know, everything has been so much fun.
What do you mean by that? You haven't killed anyone, have you?
No. Okay, so I don't know where you guys went, but I stayed down in the ship with half-elf man who I think was called an engineer, and then the Gith dude that almost killed me, but we tied up. And we were talking, I was poking at what they called an astral drive, and he was talking about how it was broken, while Kressara and Amalia were chatting up, which was very nice, lovely to have them back together. But, so astral drive, right? It's broken and it needs to be fixed with crystals. And I thought you were talking about the crystals that I had found, which are like a wand thing. So I pulled it out and they freaked out. And I was like, oh no, this is a serious deal. So I told them I had a replica of it. And then we spoke in hypotheticals for a long time. And I decided that it would be very fun to go on an adventure with them to find all the pieces of the weapon. But I
kind of lost me at the part where the crystals fix the troll's arse. I don't understand.
Well, basically, I think these crystal things are really cool, and I'd like to go on a scavenger hunt for the rest of them.
Well, that sounds fun, but... Okay, that does sound fun. But
yeah.
let's get people home first.
Sure.
And then we can do that.
Sure.
Calder is right here.
Hello, Calder. Do we have crystals that can fix an astral drive? Maybe?
And through clenched teeth with a smile, I'm going to say, I have an astral drive thingy.
The round thingy, I told them about that. They didn't say anything, but can I have it and then show it to them?
No, I'm gonna hold on to that one.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something weird about it.
That's fine.
All right, so we're all in agreement. We have to help them with their war.
Yeah.
Does everyone know about the war?
What war?
All right, the Gith are in a war against the Mind Flayers, the one we killed that made the fancy potions.
We could get more of those.
You need to get the potion. You need to get.
We need to kill the Mind Flayers.
We need to get the potion ingredients and recipe.
That's not important right now. What we need to figure out is if we're going to help them with their war. But I think it's the best decision we have. Because if we don't, then they're going to overwhelm us.
Aldous is looking around to see that they are surrounded half Gith and employed by Gith, as well as the people that were enslaved by the Gith. I really think we should get people home first, and then we can talk about it. Also, what condition is the boat in? And I'm looking directly at Kressara.
It was still a ship, and the dwarf, which it requires an explanation, is still there guarding it.
Oh, the dwarf is somebody that we intercepted being enslaved by the Gith. And he doesn't fight, so we asked him to watch the boat while we came to save your sister.
If he doesn't fight, how is he going to guard our ship?
Sindri was with him. She would have helped.
It's also on the top of a mountain, so...
Sindri isn't there anymore.
I know.
I do think I freaked him out a little bit when I fell out of the chair, so perhaps he won't attempt to take it.
He was kind of the cowardly sort. Yeah. We should probably find out what's up with the boat. And maybe take some people home. We can discuss helping the Gith after?
You know, if we're... Torvald, I have an idea you're going to love. If we're going to prepare for a war and actually assist these Gith, we perhaps need some backup. I know a beautiful young lady, Olwen, who has ice powers that could probably help us. And she looks right at Torvald.
Actually, that's a good idea. I feel bad that we left her in the town.
Adair, what do you think about that?
I'm not sure who I trust at this point, and I'm really not feeling too positive about our ice friend.
I think she could assist us.
I'd rather trust the Gith here. Honestly. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, so they say.
I've at least fought with them and know what to expect from them.
I like the idea. It's extra ice power.
And, well, she seems like she might be a friend of the person who's been teaching me my magic.
Well, then maybe you should ask him directly and find out. Instead of us just guessing.
I am going to look around and find a secluded spot.
Why don't you go take a nap? Torvald's going to. I assume the Gith leaders are here.
The prisoners in the tent.
The Gith. I assume the Gith leaders are both here in attendance.
Yes. Well, actually, no. I think you left the other one downstairs. Oh, you took him with it. So yeah, there's one with his arms tied, and the other without her arms tied, still with her weapons, sort of arms crossed.
You see, at least we tied him up for you.
Yes. And she nods a bit at him, and they exchange a few more words in Gith, and he does not look happy about this situation.
All right. I understand you got some bad blood between you, but we need to come together to fight the Mind Flayers. I'm sorry, the things that rot your mind. Is that better?
Match.
All right. The things that rot your mind. That's a tongue twister. We have a common enemy, so we need to work together. Now, if you'd like, we can search out these fragments of this weapon you're trying to build. And we might have some things that will help with the astral drive as well.
Yes. You might.
We're not very familiar with the technology, but from what I've understand, we might have something you need.
They exchange a look again and a few more words, and then the original captain, the one you captured, says, "You are making a clear offer to help us here?"
Aye.
Adair's going to kind of lean in and go, "As equals, not servants."
As equals?
And we don't want anyone working against their will. Unless it's these over here. And I'm going to gesture towards the people in black. I'm alright with them being slaves, but everyone else, we should let go. Unless they want to help. I can try to talk them into it. As someone from here, it might be a little easier than foreigners trying to talk them into anything.
Well, that is the next question. If we are thinking about this arrangement, is the intricacies of who goes where and exactly when. This ship of ours, the large one, will. Whose name I definitely did name at some point. Oh. We'll take, even if we find the parts, we'll take some time to fix. It has large holes in its side. The drive is broken. And we are in sad need of a proper new pilot. We can pilot it, but
I think we have a pilot.
have more skill than others. You still have our 2 ships that you took, yes?
We have one of them.
You lost one?
Yes.
Well, we couldn't have 2 ships, and the other one might have gotten taken.
There is just someone else just flying around with one of our ships?
We didn't see him leave, but I would assume so.
Well, we were a little bit busy dealing with you stealing our people at the time it was taken as well.
Look, if we're going to be allies, I think we're going to have to put all the us stealing your people, you killing my people behind us, okay?
Agreed.
May
What I propose what I propose is that we take the Cloud Maiden, as we've dubbed it, the ship that we've got, and we go look for these crystal pieces that you need of this weapon. And you can stay back here and try to fix your ship. And maybe you can teach us a thing or two about flying it. I don't know how you fly around. It gets awful cold up there. So maybe you have a way to show us how it works a little bit better.
So, we help you to fly the ship better. We let you keep the ship, and you go out and seek the next parts of the glass wand.
Aye. So then you can
And-
fight your war, and we don't have to
What?
deal with them infecting our world.
And what guarantee can you offer that you would not simply keep this weapon for yourselves once you had it?
I could give you a gift. A badger. They're quite popular.
I fear I'm losing some local cultural reference here.
No, it's an animal. They're good, aren't they, Adair?
They're wonderful.
Wouldn't that be a good?
You can speak in people's minds, correct?
Yes, there's some people it works better than others, and some people get awfully angry about it.
Can you see memories? If
You
someone's
cannot read
willingly.
Well, some of us can, but Emelison is sadly departed. Possibly dead. About this tall, doesn't wear armor, was a pilot on one of our ships.
Kressara.
Does that sound familiar?
Possibly. Kressara, do you have any more of those potions? I want to share with them the visions so they can see why we're here and where we come from on this.
I have exactly 3, as long as Torvald didn't take any more and hide them.
He totally took one.
So did I.
I didn't take one. I didn't take one.
Yeah, I took one and used it. So
Yeah. So there's 2.
So I have questions about how you stole my things while I was made of wood, because wouldn't my items that were in my pocket?
Your items. Your bags were still your bags.
It's pretty easy when you can't move to take your stuff. It was an emergency or we wouldn't have done it.
She just sort of glares at Adair. I'm taking back the badger.
I've already set him free.
That was a gift.
You know what
And
you
I-
say. You know
While
the
they're
saying,
arguing, DM.
if you love it, let it go.
While they're arguing, I'm looking for a spot to take care of contacting someone, and
Okay,
I
so
have
you've got about
decided.
6 hours whilst they're arguing.
Yeah, so while they're arguing, I decide to go into the tent, and since we've already decided to work with these people, I let loose the 2 Gith that are inside. They're outside talking.
Thank you. You're voice in your
welcome.
mind. Like, are we friends now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Okay.
Tava.
And then once they've cleared out of the tent, I'm gonna make myself comfortable and pull out my little mirror that I purchased from the Seller of Things.
Okay.
And I'm going to attempt to reach my patron.
Okay. So as you stare into the mirror and you think, you've never really tried to call on your patron whilst you're awake, have you?
Nope, I'm just gonna stare at it, and I don't know
As-
if I fall asleep or what,
you-
but
Stare into the mirror. There's a flicker across the surface of the glass, and then your reflection is gone. And you're staring at the room that you're sat in, but there is no sign of your reflection anymore. And then, after a moment, the mirror surface flickers again and changes. And you get a brief glimpse of a castle carved of crystal. And then there's a flicker. And there's a face staring back in the mirror. But there's a face that is familiar and yet indescribable. None of the features will stay in your mind for a second after you've looked away. You couldn't describe them if you tried. But you know this face, this unfamiliar and recognizable face, as that of your patron. looking back through the mirror towards you. And you hear a soft whispered voice in the back of your mind. Aldous, my child. Are you in trouble? Do you need help? Are you okay? Did you try the new spells?
I have tried some of the new spells, and they work really nice. I especially.
I'll send you some more soon.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So I have a couple of questions. We're not in trouble anymore. I probably have some like dried blood on my face. So recently we were in we went through some mirrors to find Sloane, because she was lost, and then we were in a bunch of crystal places, and we found a person, and her name is Alwyn, and I was wondering what you knew about her.
I'm not familiar with. Is this a fae or a mortal?
I would say fae. She's basically made of ice, and she freezes everything she's around.
I'm afraid I do not keep personal tabs on every creature that inhabits my realm. But
no, I understand, but she's here now. I mean, not right here, but she's on my side of the mirror.
Is this something that matters a lot to you, my darling?
I was just wondering if she could be trusted to help us with things.
I can send my handmaiden to seek information on her, if that would help.
I think it would.
Right. Eloise will visit you once she has found anything out.
Thank you. And do you know anything about mind flayers?
Mind flayers? No.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. You've got a bit of blood on the corner of your nose, dear.
Oh. Sorry. We were just in a fight.
Next time, please wash your face before calling me. It's only polite.
I apologize.
Good. Now, I have much to do. I'll visit you when I have time.
Thank you. Right.
And the mirror goes back to being an ordinary mirror, but without your reflection in it still.
I am going to put the mirror away. And when I go outside, I'm going to scoop up some of the snow and use it to wash my face and hands and stuff. And then remember I've got magic. And use prestidigitation the blood off of me.
There you
And
go.
the half melted snow and ice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Does a male Gith, he's still tied up, right?
Yes.
All right. So Torvald's going to take out his axe and approach him. And
Seriously, I thought we'd reached an understanding.
well, I just wanted to let you know that if you ever lay a finger on Ira over there again, I'll end you myself. And then he's going to swing his axe at the bindings and cut them.
Point taken.
All right. Well, we're going to go get our ship, and then maybe you can show us a thing or two about flying it, and we'll get our plan in motion.
Yes, that sounds fair.
And you two, make up whatever your differences are. We don't need any infighting. Yes?
Sure.
That's not very convincing.
She it's continually undermined my authority since we set out on this mission.
Well, we'll make it easier. You're both on the same level now. And we're in charge.
Wait, I thought this was a partnership of equals.
All right then, we're all equals. So no more undermining each other.
Fine. We have... Wait, is everyone an equal or is it just you 5 and us 2?
We'll go with that for now.
Because I'm not sure I want to be on equal with... He points around, like, encompassing the entire valley, like, with everyone here.
We'll take everyone's opinion into consideration.
Get everything done. And I feel that
we'll make the decisions
when it comes to votes. Because I will get all the votes.
I think you might want to talk to Kressara about that one. What?
Yeah, that was out of character, that one.
Oh, okay.
If you include all the NPCs in a vote, then it just becomes, what does the DM want to do?
On a boat.
Alright, so as you're heading back to your own boat that you had parked, left. I'm gonna go with parked. It's on ground. That you'd parked up around the corner, and as you get back up to your boat, you see perched on the end, swinging his feet back and forth, is a dwarf, Rurik. You're not dead! Congratulations.
We try not to die if we can.
I watched your boat. Part of it came alive and turned to a lady. But
This lady right here?
yeah, looks like your friends, so all good. Right. Yeah. So, having arrived back at your boat, what is your general plan here? Are you planning to sort of stick around the Gith camp, or are you heading?
We're gonna
south?
we're gonna fly the boat down to have them teach us about how to fly it and stuff.
I am going to find a bench and tie myself to it and fall asleep because I have no more energy. Shall we say? I'm done. I'm pass out.
Alright. I'm going to say the general lessons of boat usage is probably going to take a couple of days of sort of lessons on proper usage of the boat. Because at the moment you guys just turned up, sat on a chair and hoped for the best. But as your new allies, the Gith are, if not happy, they are amenable to spending a few days teaching and explaining the workings of the boat to you. So I think that this will probably be a fair few days downtime to figure out the workings of the boat, to recuperate from what has been a very hectic couple of weeks, to get to know slightly more about your new allies. So if there's anything you want to do immediately as an urgent item before a couple of days downtime, speak now. Okay. All right. So, as you're spending sort of a couple of days up around this Gith camp, also, I don't expect you to necessarily have fill in all the bits now, but just to let you know that welcome at final, long, and happy and joyous last to level 5.
Yay!
Whenever you have a chance to sort that. I'm sure you've got ideas already. It's been a long time.
Do you want us to level up now or wait until we're done with the session?
If you're ready to do it now, you can do it now because we're sort of entering a downtime period.
Ooh.
So,
I'll do that.
Also, I
next.
assume we long rest as well.
Yes, you've long rested, leveled up. The Gith are not exactly friendly towards you. There's definitely an unease in the air between them. But they
So-
are...
Who's taking the lessons on boat sailing?
This is where we're getting the boat safety lessons. Your first introduction to the workings of boats. The next day after you've had a long rest and patched up wounds, and they've patched up some of their wounds, doesn't actually come from the Gith. As you attend for morning boat lessons, you are greeted by the half-elf engineer that Ira and Kressara and briefly Aldous had met down in the depths of the ship. He's standing up, sort of looking over your boat, prodding bits of it, with a disapproving look on his face. Right. What have you done to the deck? Looks like he got clawed by a dragon.
It did. We killed a dragon on the way here.
Oh, okay, fair's fair. Right. Oh, I see you've still got the parking brake on.
What?
This little wheel down with the chair, if you just that a few times, much easier.
What wheel?
Yeah, look, just he points to part of the wooden carving of the chair. If you just twizzle that a few times, it stops a lot of issues. You can get sort of issues with people sort of getting merged with the boat and sort of losing their sense of self entirely. All sorts of horrible glitches like that.
Oh.
I went to wood once for like 3 hours. It was awful.
I share a look with Ira, and then I look at Kressara, and then I look back at the chair.
But see if we get some heavy use out of this. Just be careful not to overuse it too many days in a row. The boat gets tired. Starts to get grumpy, misbehave. You have to treat them like they're not living things as such, but they're almost living things. They, not like. Well, I grew up on flying boats. Not these sorts of flying boats. We have different flying boats where I'm from. But yes. What else in the safety? Yes. If you leave the atmosphere, you can engage an air pocket around you, and also gravity.
How does that happen? What do you mean gravity?
Okay, so gravity pulls everything down, right? If you go straight up in the air till you run out of sky, that stops working properly. So the boat can create its own gravity. It will hold you onto the deck or onto the bottom. If you go around the other side, it's kind of a flat thing. So you get stuck in the middle, you're going to spend a lot of time bouncing up and down.
Wait, so will this gravity thing prevent us from having to tie ourselves to the seats?
I mean, you can engage it whilst you're still in atmosphere, I suppose. Yeah.
Wait, because when we were fighting the dragon, there was a lot of swooshing and swooping, and I think we almost fell over on the end. We had to tie ourselves to the boat first.
Well, yeah, you can probably engage it. Right, so if you just see those bits here, if you just do this, okay, that engages gravity. That engages air pocket. That one's can cause a bit of issues if you use it when it's already air, but that keeps you breathing when you're up there in wild space or in the. I'll explain the cosmos to you at some later date. That's a long conversation. There's a lot of worlds out there.
You're full of so many long conversations. It's so fascinating.
I want to know more about that astral drive and the other.
Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm really sorry. Varen de Laranda.
Oh?
Yes.
Wonderful to meet you. Do you have a nickname?
Is Varen too long?
No, Varen's fine, actually.
Anyway, yes, so one thing, be careful. This boat can get up to some fairly fast speeds, but I'd never go over 20 miles an hour if I were you. The wind chill can.
Yeah, that was terrible. We ended up going as fast as a dragon flies in a dive.
Yeah, I find for most purposes, a good 20 miles an hour is completely sufficient and doesn't risk overtaxing the pilot, the helmsman, whatever you want to call them. Oh. Technically terms, this is your helm. Okay? Not chair, it's a helm. This being, as some folks call, this class of boats, not really a technical term, but they call them spelljammers. No, that means nothing to you. But anyway, that's what your Cloud Maiden here is. But yeah, flying requires just a little touch of magic. You can probably run off life force as well, but that's really not a good idea.
How did you get caught up with the Gith?
Well, I had a bit of a minor accident on an airship. Caused me to end up in the astral sea, and then the Gith found me when I was just kind of floating out there marooned and took me on as an engineer. It was some kind of, yeah.
Fascinating.
Many years ago now. It's seen a lot of unusual lands. Mostly a lot of large fights. It's a bit dicey here and there, but this place seems snowy.
How did you become so educated?
Well, my house, we have a long history of education in matters concerning flight and transportation.
Wow. And how do you know so much about the hypothetical replica weapon?
Oh, I don't. That's all the purview of Gralian over there. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay.
I've only heard bits and bobs from them.
Got it.
Mutterings about it being used to banish horrible monsters to outside of something, but
Sure. So do you know, because I don't feel super comfortable talking to the person who tried to kill me, do you know how it can lead me to the other pieces?
What they said, you just kind of hold it and think about stuff and it shows you where the next bit is.
Oh, okay, that makes so much sense. Okay, I'm gonna try to pull it out of my bag of withholding.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Hello, little bag. Please, I want to go on scavenger hunts. Let's see. That is a 10.
I don't think.
Can I? What if I try to like trade something? What if I try to trick it?
So what are you offering the bag in return?
Is there like a rock or something somewhere nearby?
All right, I'll give you one last chance. Make me a deception check to try to trick it.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be like an Indiana Jones, like. Okay. Okay, there's a that one. Never mind.
The bag is closed, but one is secure.
Well, I'll test that out later, I suppose. I think I need 2 bags.
Alright, so over the next days, after your safety briefing by Varen, the very angry Lady Gith takes you through some demonstrations of the correct way to sit in the chair properly, how to fly, good practice for everyday flying around. And I'll update you with general ship rules. Basically, you're only going to be required to make checks for sort of unusual maneuvers, or sort of if you're trying to do a flip in the middle of a fight or something. If you just want to fly your boat from point A to point B, just sacrifice
A spell slot.
first level spell slot, and it will go. And you only need to worry if there's like a storm or some event along the way. Otherwise, you've been taught how to use your boat.
Yay!
It saves me a lot of bookkeeping. And as you have these couple more days, Ira, come on. Do you want to make another attempt to try and get the thing out of the bag? I'll say. And then you can hunt down James for inventing such a...
I had 4 speak to me from the other side and say that I needed to be nicer, so so I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna take the bag off and I'm gonna look at it. And I'm gonna pet it and say, "You are my best friend now, and best friends share, okay?" And that'll be my check. What is that, persuasion?
I think that was the most Ira thing you've ever said.
Okay, that time it's a 12.
I'll say with a niceness that is just enough.
Yes! Okay.
It's, finally appreciated it. Like, it was abandoned by its last owner. It was heartlessly thrown away. It's had a hard life. But yes,
Hard luck.
the bag of withholding
Or
is open, and you're able to retrieve the glass ones.
Yay! Okay, Ira's gonna hold it and try to think about where the next piece is.
Okay. So you hold it, and you know you can no attempt to resist its pull this time. And you see a flicker of visions.
Okay.
The rush of air as though you're travelling a great distance. Then you see a castle built into the side of the mountains. This vast stone castle with enormous towers, easily 3-4 times the size of any castle you've seen. Not just in size, but in scale. The doors are enormous, the windows are huge. The gates leading up to it could take a giant. And as this vision flickers through, you see more glimpses of this castle and treasures piled up within. And then a very faint, distant impression of direction. Calls you west. And that's what you get from the one.
Yay! Okay, so during this downtime, can I assume that I was like by myself and everyone else is somewhere else?
I think so. If you'd chosen a time.
Yeah, I was probably by myself when I did it, just because I was scared.
I want to find out more about the astral drive on the ship.
Okay. The one that Varen is trying to fix.
Yes.
Okay, so Varen, as I don't know if you've guessed already, is quite happy to talk about his astral drive to anyone who asks anything about it. So he, if you ask him about it, is quite happy to launch into a very long explanation of crystal polarities and the resonance between planes.
Okay. And you said earlier that poor puppies, that the crystals that they need are a replacement for the piece that is actually missing.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask about that. What is it, description, and what is it supposed to do?
It was, in this case, it was, what do we have? Yes. It was a piece of abyssal iron that got burnt up when we crashed. You see, it always requires something from another plane to resonate. In this case, I was using an iron resonator, so abyssal iron and material plane iron, but it seems that this world of yours is really lacking in ways to contact the abyss, which I can probably take as a positive for you. But the best we could manage was around here. Everything seems rife with tales of the Fae. All the people we spoke to kept on and on about the Fae.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
power here.
They do. Can I take a closer look at this?
Be my guest. It's not turned on, so it's not going to accidentally take you into a different dimension. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you have to turn on the astral drive and just fiddle with it. Poof, you're likely to end up goodness knows where.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at it and see if it matches what the astral drive sphere I have.
Okay, make an Arcana check for more details.
You said Arcana?
Arcana.
6.
I mean, they resemble each other in shape and form. There's something definitely different about the runes on them, but other than that, you can't really figure out much about them in terms of magical purpose.
Okay.
And do you do that comparison stuff thing? Are you showing him your astral drive at all, or are you keeping that?
I'm keeping that secret from them.
Okay.
Afterwards, in some private downtime, I might pull Ira and Adair aside to talk about it. If they want to.
Yeah. So you've managed to find perhaps a little room deep in the ship, or off in. You've got a ship, you've got a tent, you've got bits of ruin as well underground. And managed to find a private corner for the three of you.
Okay. So I was looking at their astral drive, and from what Varen said, they need something from the abyssal plane, which is similar to the Fae realm, but different. And when I got a closer look at the astral drive they have on their ship, it looks like the sphere, but the only difference is the runes. Really. And I'm wondering if maybe those mind flayers, they have something very similar, and that this is the piece that they use to get around versus what they need for this ship. Of course, just gesticulating at the ship that we're next to.
Right.
What do you think? Should we show Varen this, or
do you have a memory of what the runes look like? Could you compare and see if there's anything about the sphere that looks like it?
No, I don't have a memory of anything. I mean, I've got the sphere right here, and I start
right,
to
but we
open
don't
my
want
bag.
to. We don't want to take it out in front of the device to look at it. But I was just wondering. You said it's shaped similar. I wonder if there's anything else.
I don't know. I have paper and ink. If you guys, I can sit down and try to draw it.
Sure. How do we get to the abyss?
So they were using abyssal iron, and that is what burned up when they crashed here.
Okay.
And they turn it on and off, whatever that means, with the piece that they need. And he said the closest to it was the crystals from the Fae realms, but maybe the sphere is made of what they need or something. I don't know.
Well, I thought we thought the sphere was like another version of
Oh,
the astral.
that's what I
Drive.
think too. Is it's different, but maybe they can work together.
How big is the astral drive on the ship? It's like takes up a big chunk of the room, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like it's massive. So they look almost as if you've seen two devices intended for the same purpose, but made by slightly different
Yeah.
materials, slightly different runes. Like same purpose, different creators, maybe.
Alright.
Okay. Or
You know-
one's outdated tech versus new.
You know,
Yes.
from the Torvald is the one who's made things with all works of metal. Maybe you should talk to him about this as well. I mean, maybe he could get some insight from it. He knows metals. He knows making things. If it was made of tree parts, I might be your guy. But...
So that's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, do we want to show it to Varen? Or
I think so. I think we should also go and get some of those crystals, right?
well, yes. So maybe hold off on that until after we get back.
Sure.
I wouldn't. I believe if you show it to them, you need to anticipate that they will want it. And are you willing to give it to them?
Well, it's not like it's getting much use from us.
Well, I
But
don't
no
know,
use
like I
may be
s-
better than some use.
I suppose. I trust Baird personally. He talks a lot, and I tend to trust people who talk a lot.
Ira, have you met anyone yet you don't trust?
I don't think so. And
That's
if
what I was
have,
afraid of.
we haven't left them alive.
And you are a wonderful person, Ira. You are awesome, but sometimes I wonder if you're the best judge of people.
That's fair. That's fair.
Also, should we check on Olwen? We did kind of leave her with a bunch of vulnerable people.
I think they're probably fine, personally, but we could.
That will probably result in Kressara wanting her on the ship and Torvald wanting to strangle you, but if that's the route you want to take.
I mean,
I do. I guess where Ira trusts everyone, I feel no trust for anyone. So maybe we balance each
we're at
other
an
out.
impasse.
Okay.
Also, so if we stop by Swordsby, do you guys know of any big castles near there? Just hypothetically.
No. Do I know anything about castles?
And have I seen any in my travels?
Big castle. Make me a history check.
Big castle, side of a mountain, to the maybe west of here.
Big castles. You might all have a slightly different DC on this. But...
I got a 7.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I asked too, am I making the same check or not? I
Yes,
didn't hear that.
if
Okay.
you're interested, if you are...
Oh, definitely interested. I rolled a 16.
Okay, so Aldous, there's some big castles and some stories you heard, legendary tales about gods going to either steal things from giants or reacquire things that had been stolen by giants previously. Adair, you have also heard tales of giants, and a land in the utter west is known as the Land of Giants. You know that locals here sometimes refer to it as Utgard, or in some other stories even, I guess Jotunheim, Land of the Giants.
Okay.
But it is in the utter west. You further west than the forest where you grew up, and off and beyond into distant, strange, and danger-filled lands.
I assume I might have heard this from my...
And that's where giants
Goliath
come from, and
friends.
that's where
Okay.
That's where there are giants in the north, but where giants built castles and where giants come from is the lands in the utter west, and yet the Goliath have a lot of stories about them.
Okay. I have some friends who are large, and I remember them around campfires speaking of way far in the west of a land of giants. And I assume when people of the Goliath race speak of giants, they must be very large. So maybe that's who they speak.
Okay.
But nothing near here, Ira.
Well, Sorlinsby is west, and that's west. So on our way to that west, we can stop by Sorlinsby if we want to, because that's where we need to go.
Okay.
Are giants like bad?
Maybe
Or are they just big?
Or nature. I guess.
Wow, that's my first good roll in like a while.
I'm going to suddenly get up and I'm going to go find Kressara and Torvald and bring them into the conversation.
Okay.
That's an unnatural 20.
So, as Ira is remembering what she knows about giants, Torvald and Kressara, eldest, like, having a meeting. So, Ira, the stories you've read about giants, mostly from the sort of distant observation point of view, because there aren't really giants hanging around in Chorus. But the tales you've grown up often talked about the giants being in the north, in the Fire Islands, and in the west. And some of the giants are talked about as these dangerous, monstrous enemies, and others are talked about as trading partners, and you can get good materials and good weapons and things from the fire giants who live in the Fire Islands, and they are perfectly fine to deal with if a little large. And tales of giants in the west being not always malevolent. They are occasionally come into conflict with small peoples who also dwelled in the west. It's dwarves. The dwarves who also dwelled in the west, but not always. Yeah. That's giants.
Alright, so I bring Torvald and Kressara to the meeting if they have a minute.
All right, what is it?
So we want to fix the ship, right? And we need crystals from the Fae to fix the ship, but we also have a little spear thing that might be the same type of thing that's on the ship. And we also need to go west, and supposedly there's giants there. So that's kind of what's going on. What are your thoughts?
That sounds fine to me.
Okay.
We'll take some giants on.
All right. Y'all had a very tepid response there. Cool.
They also
Why
want to
do
stop
we
and
want-
Sorry, go ahead, Kressara.
Why do we want to go where the giants are?
That's where the next piece of the big bad weapon is.
As she's got it in her lap right now.
Yeah.
Is that a big bad weapon in your lap, or are you just happy to see us? I have no problem with that. There are dwarves out there too, and I speak giant and dwarf, so
Cool.
we might be able to do it peacefully even.
The west, as well as being entails land of giants, Torvald, you would know the west is also entails the historic homeland of the dwarves. Like, dwarves live all across the continent, but historically their great kingdoms and their great fortresses were in the west. Although they kind of have been going through bad times for the last few centuries, but that is historically where the dwarven kingdoms were.
Adara's going to look at Torvald and say, they also want to stop in Sorlinsby and check on our friend.
Well, no, that's a terrible idea. We should just go straight there. What'd you say?
Definitely. Torvald, I think this is a lovely idea. We should stop.
Oh, you think it's a terrible plan. We should go to the Giants.
It's agreed then.
So here's the thing, though. We have a lot of people here who want to go home. And I think we were going to set up your sister in Sorlinsby. Did we want to still do that?
Amalia, where is she? Where is Amalia? Is she in here with us, or
Hanging around. You can go grab her if you want.
Kressara
It's
will
a party.
bring her back.
And in that case, I'm gonna go grab Calder too.
I think it's more like a series of like patches of conversation throughout this.
I can just see the Gith out there watching as we start slowly grabbing every non-Gith and bringing them into our
Secret meeting.
tent.
Secret meeting.
Huddle. Their own huddle. Come on, you guys. Yeah, so Amalia and Calder join you. So, what's the plan? Where are we going?
Do you want to go to Sorlinsby?
But we're going on a big adventure to find magic crystals, right?
Oh, you wanted to go with us? I'm going to look at Calder. Did you want to go home? Okay, Calder wants to go home.
We could just say that himself.
He was just nodding.
That's
All
what
right
you
then.
said.
So we bring everyone back that wants to go back, and then we go find the crystal wand weapon thingy.
And
that's it.
Well, I think we should
And-
fix this ship first before we go, because I think the ship that they have is much better outfitted than the one we stole.
I thought it was going to take a lot of time to fix, like, the holes in it and such.
And I thought we needed that abyssal fey thing.
Well, Aldous is pretty close with the Fae, right? So I think we could get it pretty easily.
I mean, we would have to probably go back into the Fae realm
That's fair.
to get
Oh.
more.
I was just excited at the possibility that we could have a ballista instead of just relying on our own abilities as we fly through giant territory.
the Fae did warn me that Amalia was in trouble. Maybe they would be willing to help us. The Fae King, he was so impressed with your dance performance. And he remembered my story and sent one of his Fae creatures to warn me. Perhaps they would help us.
They've been keeping an eye on us, it seems, so maybe they even know that we need it by this point.
Maybe they can take their frosty friend there.
No, I think she should come with us. Her powers would be quite useful.
Actually, that is a very good point.
Well then, you can go without me.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
quit being cranky.
yeah, I'd much rather not do that.
I'd rather not have the ship freeze beneath our feet.
Agreed.
Wait, they just told us how to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I said.
I don't
And
know
she
that they
could
were.
fit us all.
I don't know that they were aware of her, and she has stated herself that she cannot control this.
Right,
It just
she's
seems
looking.
scary.
Well, you remember she's looking for someone to fall in love with, and once she falls in love, it's supposed to make that stop happening.
Are you volunteering?
Fall in love with her? No.
Okay.
I don't find women to be attractive the same way.
How old is she?
She appears sort of older teens, but
Ah.
She's Fae, so she could be however old.
somewhere
That's
between,
fair.
If
somewhere
only
between
we had a
about
love
17 and 17,000.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so as you make your discussions and make your plans towards which boats you're going to take, exactly who you're going to take, exactly when you're going to go, and exactly where you're going to go, I think this might be a good time to end tonight's session. And I don't believe we're around next week.
We can be. I'd just be missing.
I might be missing 2 if we did.
I think we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. That's what I think.
Okay.
I write calendars and then I forget the calendars I've written.
On the calendar, you said the 18th, no session, question mark.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was just depending on who all would be available or not.
But if a bunch of us aren't available, so week after next we'll be back. And it may be that some more downtime will have passed in game, depending on. We can carry on some of the discussions at like a meta level, because a lot of it is actually about, you know, what do you want to carry on a small ship with few people or a larger ship with more NPCs and that sort of thing. How many people do you want to make me roleplay?
That's what I'm
A
thinking.
lot. All of them.
Torture the
That's-
DM. So.
Yeah. Well,
That is entirely up to you. If you decide, oh, you, you're all coming with
How many Erics and Davids do we want on the ship?
Eric's dead.
12.
All of them.
Yeah, so that's up to you. So yeah, we'll be back in a week's time. And
And rough.
On that note,